welcome to a very special night tonight on Lightning TV. It is retro night here ahead of the game between the Lightning and the Bison. I am Mike Walls, aka Pimmy, and I am joined here tonight by the OG for Lightning TV, Mr. Chris Dickens, and one of the men responsible for the MK Lightning starting up, Mr. Vito Rausa. Gentlemen, what a night tonight. Welcome.
Do you know what? This is so good to be here. It's just bringing back so many memories. Just this one night. It's amazing.
It's fantastic to see. There's so many different shirts from over the years around the rink. There's some being sold from the Supporters Club as well, and they're going like hotcakes already. Vito, what's it like to be here on a night like tonight?
Very emotional, actually. I look at even the things that, like the shirts they're wearing tonight, just bring back memories. I think the shirts are fantastic. But it's just so nice seeing faces that you know from days of old still coming to games. Fabulous. Just goes to show what a family this is.
We saw at the start of that montage video there, and we all looked a lot younger in that, didn't we?
We looked a hell of a lot younger. I'm surprised. I think there's a photo of me dressed as a monk, blessing Vito. We'll maybe talk about that in a bit. And there's another one in me presenting Man of the Match, which would have been probably 2004. I've got no hair. That's when I used to shave my head. It's crazy.
There was one photo, there was a very young me. Luckily, we skipped very quickly. We're holding the initial playoff trophy that we won in that first season. When that photo was taken, I found out that half of the Lightning TV crew weren't even born.
That's the scary bit, isn't it? If
that
you look
is,
around and
wow.
And also,
very scary.
It is when you think about it, the first season, going back to you, Mike, I think you were still at school. Well, you were at sixth form,
I was
were you?
finishing sixth form,
Because
yeah.
your nickname in the supporters group then was the student, wasn't it?
Yes, it was the student, yes. Yeah, I'll scrounge around for a pint off of anyone. Actually, I still do that now, so I don't know why. Some things don't change.
So, Vito, take us back to 2002. We knew about the, obviously the Kings weren't going to be playing out this rink anymore. There's a lot being said about that, but, you know, at the end of the day, you know, Harry's come along, he's asked you to get together, form this new
well, actually,
team.
there's a strange story about that, because that was even before then. It was probably Nick was playing for the Kings, and I'll never forget. We were training the juniors here, and I took Nick to one side. I said, Nick, one day you will run this team, and I said, and when you do, don't forget me. I'll be your stick man or your bucket boy. And he said, no, and he was convinced he was going to go and play somewhere else. And then he called me out of the blue and said, Beats, you're not going to believe. So we got together, me, Harry and Nick were already involved in the Thunder. We got together and we penciled out what was going to be this new proposal, this new team. And we pushed the boat out on the budget. And in those days, we didn't think we could afford it in those days. We said our weekly wage was £1,200, including tax. And it was incredible that we in those days, we were the better team, or one of the more expensive teams in the league.
It's scary when you think about that, isn't it? Even back then, 22, 23 years ago, it's still scary.
Yeah, I mean, just if you compare it to today's budget, and but bear in mind that the first few games we played, we didn't have huge crowds, but we had a strong core. The sad thing was the fan base got cut in two, so some of the fans chose to stay with the Kings, that became the Solihull Kings, and they moved up there, and the others were actually quite keen for a fresh start, and stayed with us, and then we built from there. But in the early days, it was not easy. I also remember the logo. It was getting close to when we needed to get some shirts, and we were looking at designs and things, and Dave Fairhurst did the logo on PowerPoint. And let me tell you that his was a great logo compared to some of the ones that we got given by other people and the suggestions.
Well, that's the thing now, because I was thinking about this earlier. The shirts, they look amazing, and when the game starts and people see the shirts and everything else, I dare anybody to say that's not a good-looking shirt, it's not a great logo. But back then, we got absolutely slated, didn't we? And bearing in mind, that was in the days before the internet, before social media. Can you imagine what would happen now?
Absolutely, it was incredible. But that was very quickly, I think it was in the second season, that we formed an even stronger bond with the Supporters Club. And that's where Harry really quite quickly understood that the Supporters Club could do a better job of merchandising than we could. And so whilst we controlled it, they were effectively running it and in charge of it. And we gave the whole marketing side of the Lightning to the supporters club. And the big revelation for us was when Dave Bunyan got involved and took over the whole thing. He was amazing. And at the beginning, you have to have it's almost a leap of faith with Dave, because you don't know him. We didn't know him that well. But for me, to this day, I think Nick probably one of the best ever signings on the ice, and off the ice, the best signing that we ever made was Dave Bunyan, because he's been a rock, and he very quickly brought us to the top of the pile in terms of our budget, in terms of the core of the team, in terms of the professionalism of the team. Going to away games and having tracksuits, with all the players looking the same. We very early on told the players that our old changing room was by the car park.
By the back there, yeah. Right underneath where the bar is now.
And they could quite easily, I think the Kings used to, some of the guys used to go in the car, not go into the bar and go home. When we put it into the players, we said every single player, you are not allowed to go home unless you go into the bar first. Lose or win, you go through the bar and you talk to the fans, because the fans were massive. And there was little things like that were quite different to the old days. Quite important, because we were involved with the juniors, we could see how the juniors needed to look up to these guys.
You mentioned that with that written into the contracts, go into the bar. That's still a part of the culture today. And is that just something that you're so happy just to hear that imprint of the culture?
I love it.
To play in MK is still to do that.
I love it. And in some clubs, I don't know, I won't mention the club because it'd be unfair to do that, but I know that even today, they finish a game, they go out the back door, they get into the cars and they go home.
And there's very little interaction, which is a shame, isn't it?
It is a real shame, and it's so different to football, they do that, and I understand why footballers do that. But for us, with 2,000 or 3,000 fans, it's not a hardship at all. In fact, it's a privilege to be able to talk to fans after the game and say, guys, thank you for supporting us. Really, really important.
Speaking as fans as well, when we first started, obviously, a lot of us were involved and we were helping out sponsors and everything else, but, Pimmy will remember this, when we used to have a group we called ourselves the Black Army back then. I'm not entirely sure we get away with that now, in all honesty. But it was innocently called because one of the main colours of the club was black. But I remember that first, we had a barbecue at somebody's house, didn't we? We were just like, we'll form this group, what do we call ourselves? Oh, the Black Army, that'll do. And off we went, and we were up and down the country following in Moose's minibus, as it used to be.
The Moose crew, yeah.
And it's funny you mentioned barbecue, because each year I would do a barbie at my house with the players, some of the helpers as well. And we do it so that the new players integrated with the existing core of the team. And it was... It used to drink me out of house and home, but it was a great day of just really making the Lightning be something more than just an anonymous club. It was a family club. It was a club that cared about its players and cared about its fans. And I think that's really, really important. And we've lost that a little bit in today's world. I begin to sound like my father, I tell you.
No, but that's right. It does. You do start to lose that, and things like you used to hold regular fan forums, and you could feel that the heartbeat of the club was not just the people on the ice, the people around the ice, but it was the people who were paying their money to come in every single week, and it had that real family feel, and it still has that today. Yeah, okay, today's social media may have lost it a little bit, but 2,500 people in here every single week, there is a core, isn't there?
Absolutely, yeah. And I remember spending the night going round to the fans, shaking people's hands, chatting to them, how's so-and-so, or just involving fans in what was going on, how that, and actually, we had to call a couple of fans forums when we were stinking the place out. We were playing terrible, fans were getting a bit frustrated, and we called a fans forum, fans could come along, we would sit there and we would genuinely answer their questions.
You'd field any question, wouldn't you?
We would take any question
on the team.
What it did is that, sure, people were frustrated, but they could understand some of our challenges. Why isn't so-and-so playing? Well, actually, he's carrying an injury. We've not publicised that because we don't want the away team to know exactly what it is, or the away teams, but we want to protect him. And that was really quite important. It was, I think back to those days, some of the things that we did, and we made a lot of mistakes. Don't get me wrong, we got a lot of things wrong. Yeah, I never forget turning up to an away game, and we had our shirt boy that got the away shirts ready, and away you went to the away game. And we get there, and the shirts haven't arrived. And so a couple of guys had a couple of shirts, and I had to go into the crowd, our away supporters, to borrow shirts. And we got most of the players, but a couple of players had to play in different people's shirts, and we had to change the numbers.
Put tape across them back in those days.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
And then the tape would fall off halfway through, and the referees would pick you up for that. It used to be crazy.
We certainly got some things wrong, but I think the core values, it's great to see what Tom, the team have done, what you guys have done here. I think you've done fantastic.
We got to talk about the players, because you always said making the players part of that family, and we see the shirts hanging up in the rafters now, but these were guys, cases of like Lewis Christie, Grant McPherson came down from Scotland.
Yeah.
I remember Grant saying, I only thought I was going to be here maybe 2, maybe 3 years whilst I was a bit young, get a bit of game time. He now lives in Milton Keynes. He's completely engrossed in the city. Adam Carr's another one, Michael Farn. Some of the guys up the other end of the country came to Milton Keynes and they just became part of the culture, became part of the city.
Yeah, I think one of the things that Nick is, I personally, I think Nick's a fantastic coach, but he's an even better spotter of good players. And very quickly he realised that the success at our level here, whilst your imports are important, but your real success is your British players. And if you've got a strong core of British players, you can build the imports around. And Nick was very, very good. He could see a CV from a Swedish player playing in the top Swedish league, and he'd send me Vito, what do you think of this guy? I said, Poole, he's got 3 points the whole season, but you trust me. And we bring him in, Stefan Katola, Jari Jokinen, some of these guys, and Monair.
I was going to say, Monair was never on anybody's radar, was he?
Nowhere, but Bobby saw him, and I still think one of the best players, the funniest one that we had was Wiki.
Joe Wicklander, what a hero.
Joe Wicklander was just an incredible guy, and I'll never forget, Poole went to go and get him at the airport. And so there, if you can picture this, there's Nick Poole and Joe in the car, and Joe, just to put it, he's got fantastic hands, but skates like a 4-year-old. Right? He's not a great skater, and he would say that. And they're in the car, and there's a quiet moment, and Nick and him have spoken for a little bit, and he turns around and he says, Nick, your teams. He says, what do you like in your team? He said, and Nick turned around and said, Joel, he says, all I have, he goes, in my team I have great skaters, really great skaters. That's what I really focus on, is good skaters. And he went silent for about 30 seconds, and then Joe went, Nick, when you see me skate, don't be upset.
But Nick, going back to the way Nick used to select his squads at the beginning of every season, at the time, I hadn't known a head coach to do it in this way, but Nick, a lot of coaches go on stats and everything else, and you said Nick never used to do that. And Nick always used to go on a point scoring system, didn't he?
He did.
And he used to use it that way. I've not seen many coaches use that particular system. It seemed to be unique to Nick.
It was.
And cultural fit was one of those, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But he had an eye for. He understood very early, because he played in Finland. He understood that in Finland you've got, a team of 23 players, or 22, a squad of 22, 23. They were all very, very good skaters. And just to make that team, you were of a standard. And you think some of the BNL teams in the old days, there were some good players that come across. But then when you went down to 2 imports at the beginning, 3 and then 4 and then 5, when you went down to that level of imports, you also had to have guys that complemented. But actually our successors were people like, Gary Clark, Kazi, fantastic player, Leigh Jamieson. And whilst, you've got people like G, that have now made it their home, they were the third line players, but these guys were just as important. And I alluded to it earlier, where we would go to play away against a team that had 2 great lines, which they used to do in the old days, and Nick would insist on having 3 good lines, and he'd put our third line out, the banana line. He'd put our third line out with their top line, and just rotating our 3 lines meant that we were fresher for longer in the game. And actually, where that's important is that we play at home on a Saturday, but by Sunday, second period Sunday, the legs are flaming a little bit. And where we were lucky is, having played 3 lines Saturday and 3 lines for a period and a half, by then, by 30 minutes in, you know, you knew that the last 30 minutes were ours, and you can turn games. And as long as we kept it tight to begin with, we would win that game.
There's a couple of signings. I'm only going to talk. There's a couple of signings that raised a few question marks when they were signed. I'm not going to mention one because he probably came here and didn't want to be here anyway. But one, you signed him, and I know the influence came from Dave Bunyan on support of the club on this. The day you released, the press release came out about we've signed Kurt Irvine, and everybody to a man was like,
no,
what?
worse than that. So we signed him, and on the Tuesday night training, a fan came in and bought a season ticket, and he says, "There's my season ticket back. I am not supporting this club by Kurt Irvine."
I know who that was. Yeah.
And he gave us a season. We said, look, no, and we caught him like a little bit later, the year later, because Kurt was with for 5 years. The year later we got him, and we actually got him back to a game. But it was funny, we sold so many Kurt Irvine shirts.
He was a legend. He was an absolute lightning legend. And do you know what? I know it's an old cliche when you talk about people who, you know, who run you ragged on the ice, you know, the Andre Payets of the world and people like that. But they are just so nice off
Amazing.
it, which makes it even more infuriating, doesn't it?
Amazing. And I also remember, you know, when we signed Nicky Chin and Wiggy. Chris Wiggins, and Chris Wiggins, for those who don't know him, he's a lovely lad. He's a lovely, lovely guy. He's 6'5", 6'6", whatever he is, and might be taller than that. He's got hands that you can park 3 cars on them. They're just huge hands on him. And I'll never forget, Peterborough signed this overseas player, and they decided to take a 2-page spread. He was a street fighter, or
I remember the guy.
MMC or something. One of these ring fighters, you know.
Yeah.
And they said, we've signed the toughest guy in the league. And I never forget, I picked up the phone and I spoke to the owners. I said, guys, what are you doing? You're going to get, this poor man's going to have to fight every single week because everybody's going to think, I want to try. And I know, but they can try. He goes, after the first week, nobody will want to fight him. So I said, okay, fair enough. And we used to have the Ashes game, the first game of the season, or the pre-season. And I'll never forget going there, and Wiggy came around the corner. We were in Peterborough. It was first game, first shift. He hits this guy. This guy turns around to fight Wiggy. Wiggy knocks him out cold. He's unconscious for a good period of time.
Well, I've got a feeling that, and sadly, we may have come to the end of our time because that's the end of warm-up. But it's been an absolute pleasure. So thanks, and Mike, to the club and all of Lightning TV. Thanks for having me up here, especially. It's a real trip down memory lane. I can't believe what you've done with the place. Literally, it's amazing. It's absolutely fantastic.
Well, thank you so much for both of you for joining us, and it's great to have the memories. And I know that a few of the legends are here in the ring tonight, so they'll be sharing stories and having a chat over probably a few beers up in the bar. Thank you so much for joining us in here, and we're going to take a quick moment here, and then it will be Harrison and Aaron that will be leading you with the commentary between the Lightning and the Bison. But thank you for joining us. Vito, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Chris, thank you again. It's great to have you back here on the gantry again. And we'll see you very soon. And we'll be handing over to Harrison and Aaron right now.
And with that, the 2025 season comes to an end. Good night.
Harrison, in terms of the game tonight, of course, speaking about that, I mean, the Bison in town, this one should be a great fixture, shouldn't it?
With rich history, but also in having some difficult times of late as well. The table isn't looking pretty for either side. There's important points to pick up, and it is going to be an important one for both sides. And Bison are looking to get a 4-point weekend, of course, as well. So, and Lightning are looking to bounce back after defeating Swindon. So, big points on the line. It is a 4-pointer, as you might call it.
Most definitely is. Well, yeah, yesterday's result didn't quite go in the favour of the Lightning, did it? Losing 5-3 at the Link Centre against the Swindon Wildcats. Basingstoke, meanwhile, victors 5-4 against the Solway Sharks in overtime. So, as you said, very much a case of a 4-point weekend for Basingstoke and a little bit of a salvage job for the Lightning. So, with all of that in mind, Harrison, I say that we should introduce the two sides, and we'll start by taking a quick look at the away team. Let's take a look at your Basingstoke Bison for tonight. So, wearing the number 4, one of the alternate captains is Adam Harding. Wearing jersey number 8 is Will Stead. He'll be on the third line for Jeff Flanagan's men. As for the number 13, that is Zach Shankar, one of the imports for the Bison this season. Wearing the number 15 is Ty Cathcart. Wearing the number 19 jersey is Adam Erskine. Wearing the number 21 is Evan North. 2 goals and 4 assists so far for the number 21 this season. Then there's Brendan Selland, someone who has got some good recent history against the Milton Keynes Lightning. Wearing number 24 is Zach Milton. The last time the Bison were in this division, he was the leading Brit in terms of points scored. Jersey number 29 is Alex Samford. Jersey number 40, the backup in the net tonight, is Dean Skins, a former MK man. Jersey number 42, the starting netminder, is Max Wright. Jersey number 51 is Reece Cochran, the former Bristol Pitbull. He joined up with the Bison in December. Wearing 74 is Liam Morris. Jersey number 75 is donned by Brendan Baird. Number 89, the other of the alternate captains, is the experienced Tom Ralph. Number 93, the last of the imports, the forward Luke Spadafora. Certainly someone to watch out for this evening. And wearing number 94, the captain of the Basingstoke Bison, it is Stuart Mogg. So that is your away side for this evening, the Basingstoke Bison. So let's now take a look at your home side, and let's introduce your Milton Keynes Lightning. So wearing jersey number 1, your starting netminder, it is of course Jordan Headley. Wearing jersey number 2 is Adam Rosbottom, one of the newcomers for the Lightning this season. Wearing jersey number 4 is Archie Salisbury. Wearing jersey number 5, one of the imports for the Lightning this season, is Jordan Spadafor. Wearing jersey number 7 is Josh Kelly. Wearing jersey number 11 is Callum Field. Jersey number 14 is Andy Heath, one of the youngsters on the Lightning in this campaign. Wearing number 15, returning to the Lightning lineup, is the captain, James Griffin. Wearing jersey number 23 is Dom Gabai. Wearing jersey number 26 is Josh Saunders, the young defenceman. Possesses a very heavy shot on him, does the Scotsman. Wearing jersey number 29 is Elliot Lewis. Your backup netminder for this evening is Will Curlin. Wearing jersey number 37 is Patrick Forsberg. Wearing jersey 55 is Malik Martelli. Great to see him back in a Lightning jersey. Number 63 is the Finnish import, Janne Jokinen. Wearing 71 is Harry Gulliver, one of the go-to English forwards for the Lightning. Wearing jersey 86 is Sean Norris. He bagged one yesterday. Can he score again this evening? We shall wait and find out. Jersey number 89 is Rio Grinnell Park. Jersey number 95 is Jordan Cowney, the Flying Scotsman. And last but by no means least, at least for the numbered players, is Jarvis Hunt wearing number 96. We've also got Cole Jean-Andrea playing this evening. You've got your head coach, Tim Wallace. Joe Wilson, one of the assistant coaches. And last but by no means least, the second of the assistants is Lewis Christie. So, that is your respective rosters for this evening's game. Harrison, in terms of those two sides, on paper, looks pretty strong.
Captain George Norcliffe not in the side as well. Marcus Bradley and Oliver Hemmings-Mayer, who scored his first Bison goal of the season when it came down to it on Friday. So a few players missing for the Bison. The Lightning still without Archie Salisbury and Tom's Rutkiss. Lewis Conroy is icing in Bristol for the Thunder. And that is the absentees. Also, well wishes to Ed Nags, who has been ruled out for the season due to injury. We wish him all the best.
Most definitely. Great to see James Griffin back as well, the captain, our skipper here in Buckinghamshire. Of course, both he and his partner Jill welcoming Teddy into the world a few days ago. So great to see Griff back in the side. And, well, it's an absolute pleasure. It is retro night here in Milton Keynes. It's not just myself and Harrison on commentary tonight. It is an absolute pleasure and a privilege to welcome into the comms gantry number 21, retired in the rafters forever. It is the great Ross Green. Ross, how are you, mate?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you for having me here tonight, guys. I'm just admiring how great this setup is and how professional it is. First time I've been up here, so pleasure. Thank you for having me tonight.
Well, no, it is an absolute pleasure, mate. And before we get into our ones to watch, of course, this is a celebration of the 02-03 season, the first ever campaign which featured the Milton Keynes Lightning. I know in terms of playing days, Ross, from a pro capacity, maybe a little bit too early on in your career, but do you have any memories from that season as such?
No, I do. That was really my first kind of like season I really got into it, and coming down, watching the team. That's when I first started playing for Milton Keynes Storm. They'd just kind of like come in, and it was absolutely fantastic. I remember kind of going down, especially some of the away games with my dad at Peterborough, some of the rivalries that we used to have. It was incredible back then. And it's great to see these retro jerseys as well that everyone's kind of got on tonight, rolling back the years. So yeah, no, I remember it fondly. I remember a lot of the players, and I actually got to share a lot of the ice with them as I got a bit older. So that was a real pleasure to see those heroes as you're kind of growing up. Your likes of Dwayne Newman, Gary Clark, Nick Poole's. All of those guys, and sharing the ice with them, training and playing as I got older was just incredible to kind of learn from them. So,
It's the dream, isn't it? You go from being a fan in the stands here at the Thunderdome to representing the club alongside those legends. It doesn't really get any better than that, does it?
No. And when we had the old rink, it was all kind of in a slightly different setup. That the changing room used to kind of be under where reception is, so all the players would walk out and they'd come round to where the kind of bar area is, and I used to stand there with my dad, and every game I would open the door for warm-up, because they'd warm up on the opposite end, and I'd fist bump all of the players, and that used to be like my little kind of like ritual and routine. And so yeah, it was just a fantastic moment when you got to kind of pull on the shirt for the first time, walk out of there, and go get on the ice at that exact same kind of like spot. So it was really surreal.
I can imagine it was, and well, we are getting closer to the opening face-off here in Milton Keynes. A tickle under 8 minutes before the Lightning and the Bison do battle. I mean, Ross will talk about your storied career at length. He's not the only guest as well, folks. We've got some absolute doozies lined up this evening, so do stick around for periods number 2 and 3 as well. But I'll go back to Harrison, because we do, of course, have some ones to watch, don't we, tonight, Mr. Mills? And we'll start with the home side. From a Lightning perspective, who are you keeping extra close tabs on here tonight?
I think there can only be one man, and that is Matt Howlett. He's on hot form at the moment. 3 games he's played for the Lightning since making the move down from the Leeds Knights, and he's already set himself on 7 points, 1 goal and 6 assists in those 3 games, made his debut up in Solway, and he's just lit up on that second line with Harry Gulliver and Jordan Cowney. He's just provided that extra little bit of speed that I think that line might have been missing before. And when you lost the import of Ilya Korenchuk, there was always that missing forward line, and it's almost like he's come in and filled that like a plaster. There is so much good about him, and he creates a lot of play on that wing, and he's going to cause a lot of problems for this Bison defence.
Definitely is. It's a long-term signing as well, isn't it? 2.5 years for Matt Howlett. I think it's what we call in sports a bit of a coup. It's a great pickup for the Lightning. And as for the Bison, Harrison, what about the visitors? There's quite a few. We spoke about Spadafora and Selland before the game. Who would you pick out for Jeff Flanagan's side?
See, I've gone for Evan North. I think seeing him last time he was here, he scored an absolute ripper on that near face-off dot, just above the blocker of Jordan Headley, and it came out of absolutely nowhere. It took us by surprise on comms. It was us on comms that night as well. And he comes with a lot of pace and a lot of just ability with him. So it's going to be an interesting one when it comes to what he's going to provide, because obviously you spoke about Brendan Selland and you spoke about Spadafora, but they've got a very good brick core, and he's one of those that, along with the likes of Reece Cochran and Liam Morris, who are going to cause problems for this Lightning side.
I think it's, as you said, Evan North. I actually had the pleasure of coaching him for South West Under-13s. And so seeing him will be great for me tonight to actually watch him improve. I got to spend a bit of time with him through that season and coached him over at Sheffield. He's a fantastic player. I know he went out to the States following that and applied his trade out there. So it'd be great to see him improve. He was always very skillful, good skater. And I did see the highlight of that goal following that he scored that down here. So it'd be great to see him. And as you say, you've got Liam Morris, who's always can be a bit of a thorn in everyone's side. He kind of reminds me of the old Grant McPherson. He's probably one of those players that you'll hate to play against. I remember we used to hate playing against him, but if he's probably on your team, he's one of those guys that you'd love to kind of have there. So everyone's going to stay calm, because I know he'll be out there trying to agitate people and get us to take a few silly penalties tonight. But yeah, just got to play our game, stick to the game plan, and hopefully nullify him a little bit tonight.
Most definitely, yep. Penalty minutes have been the name of the game for Liam Morris at times this season. 71 so far in this campaign. And, well, we are getting closer and closer to face-off, less than 5 minutes away. And I believe we are about to switch over to the main stream. So for those tuning in on the YouTube, if you want to go and purchase the stream, feel free to go to the Lightning website right now as we get ready for the opening face-off between the Lightning and the Bison. As the dramatic music kicks in, the stands begin to fill. I mean, nights like this, Ross, are why we love ice hockey, aren't they? I mean, it's a great occasion, this.
100%. This is the thing that I miss the most, really. You come down on a Saturday night, the fans are always here. It's the entrance, dramatic, it's brilliant. There's no better feeling than skating out there. It gives you the chill. Still gives them to me now as I kind of get out there. You feel a little bit pumped up, really. So I'm excited for the boys, and hopefully I can put on a big display tonight.
Absolutely, and of course with it being retro night, I'm sure you've seen the jerseys, but myself and Harrison a little bit earlier, we were just admiring them. They are a thing of beauty, aren't they?
100%. I might have to go down and buy myself one after the period break. But yeah, I saw Harrison's. I was just admiring his matching trainers as well as he walked up. He's very colour coordinated, also with the hat as well. So yeah, get yourself down to the supporters club, anyone that's here, or I'm sure they're probably on sale afterwards, aren't they, as well? Purchase them off the website. I'm sure Dave doesn't miss a trick when it comes to that.
Absolutely, they are so clean, aren't they? And even the font on the back really does throw it back to 2002.
I can see Pucky there. He's sporting his very nicely.
Yeah, looking very fresh and clean. And here we go then. The Lightning streaming onto the ice. We'll see the Bison shortly as well. Of course, before we have our short break here on comms, Ross, for the national anthem, just one final question before the start. How can you see this game going for both of these teams?
Lightning have been great at home. I know their away form has struggled a little bit, but it's a difficult one because Basingstoke also have the same advantage where they play on quite a larger ice pad and they skate quite well. So I can still see Lightning with the quality they have, especially acquisition of Matt Howlett. With this big open ice, I can see them winning comfortably, 5-2 for me.
Wow, that is an interesting prediction. Harrison, what about yourself? How do you see this game going?
I think the occasion is one of the things that the Lightning need to keep a track on as well, because it's very easy to get caught up in the occasion. You see that when it comes to, say, playoff games and cup games, but this is a whole different kettle of fish that we haven't really seen at Lightning for a while. So if the Lightning players can keep their heads on and keep out the penalty box, I can only see this game going one way, if I'm being honest, but there are a lot of surprises in that Bison roster, and you cannot count them out at any time. So I think Lightning will take the win, but I don't think they'll be made to take it easily.
No, completely agree. You look at the previous two meetings between these two sides. Lightning victorious here at the Thunderdome by a scoreline of 6-4. In the return leg against the Bison in Basingstoke, well, it was the Bison who won that one by 5-4. So expect some action, expect some excitement, and we'll just take a short reprieve here on Lightning TV as the two sides get ready to line up for the national anthem. Always one of my favourite parts of a match like that, a roaring rendition of God Save the King in what is a capacity crowd here at the Thunderdome this evening. Great to see a Sunday night of hockey being so well supported, and for good reasons as well. It's retro night here as we celebrate the 2002-03 season in Milton Keynes. And well, we have got an absolute firecracker of a game coming your way. Also lovely to see there before the game, wasn't it, Ross, the presentation, just the acknowledgement of those who have been the foundation of this club.
100%. It's great to kind of see Harry Houghton out there as well as Vito. I haven't seen Harry in quite a while, so it's brilliant to see him on the ice. And actually, what those two have done for Milton Keynes ice hockey, it wouldn't be where it is today without them. So yeah, it's brilliant to kind of see them both out there.
It really is, and throughout the night, I mean, we've got some great bits of nostalgia coming your way, some interviews, some old montages. It is absolutely staggering to see how far, not just the sport has come, but of course, the club as well. It really is a celebration here on Super Sunday. So, the two sides getting ready then for the opening face-off. Just looking out there, believe it will be the starting line for the Bison of Spadafora, Sellen, Shankar, Harding and Wright. As for the Lightning, the likes of Jokinen, Gulliver, Goodbye, Forsberg, Spadafor. And here we go, let's play some hockey. We are off at the Thunderdome. It's Lightning versus Bison, and it is the Lightning who get possession of the puck in their own defensive zone. Nice pass there to Janne Jokinen. Jokinen puts on the Jets, looking to up the ante already. Not even 15 seconds into the piece. Little bit of a battle there as MK look to draw first blood. Great pass there. Just beyond Harry Gulliver. Slightly unfortunate that, wasn't it, Ross?
Yeah, he should have done a little bit better there to kind of get hold of that. So it was a really good opportunity there to kind of get the puck on net. But unfortunately, we can't keep it into the zone there, so we have to go back and regroup now, Spads.
Here's Jordan Spadafor, the Canadian, goes back to Patrick Forsberg. So an all-import defensive line here for the Lightning. Jordan Cowney, Mac Howlitz, and Malik Martelli coming in as well. So too is Sean Norris, the man who scored yesterday away at Swindon. And Headley decides to just drop that off to Malik Martelli. Baird wins it back for the Bison, zips it in off the boards, and well, Basingstoke so far playing some end-to-end hockey. Here now comes a breakaway for the Lightning. It's MK with their first real shot on Max Wright's net. Could still be an opportunity here. Just looking at the movement from Howlett.
From Jordan Cowney to find Mac Howlett in the centre. It's great to see Malik Martelli back. I know he's been out as well a little while with a concussion, and he's going to make a big difference tonight, really, to the back end, hopefully.
Certainly is. I mean, he was immense last year, wasn't he, Ross? He was a second-team All-Star.
Yeah, he's a fantastic skater. He's really, he's got good hockey IQ as well. Moves the puck, and it's great to kind of see him back on the ice, and hopefully he can, show his quality tonight.
Most definitely. Well, that is almost given away in neutral ice. Slightly dicey that for the Lightning, but they should have this one covered in the form of Josh Saunders on that one like a rocket, although he's given that one away. Could be a chance here for Basingstoke.
It's a great recovery there. Is that Thomas on the back end? It's good to see him getting out there and getting some minutes.
Well, here he is.
Forward, lovely pass. Should have done better there of Rio. That was a great pass by Bailey Thomas.
Yeah, he's a very good prospect, isn't he? Bailey Thomas, product of the Manchester Storm pathways, and still only 17 years of age. One of the newcomers for the Lightning. Here is Sellen, though, for the Bison.
It's great to see him. He used to play against his dad, Mark Thomas. He's a GB international for Manchester. So, it's got away with that one there quite nicely. It's come off in our favour right as we turn over the puck.
Yeah, goodbye, wasn't it? The Slovak sniper on the backhand. Play broken up, though, allows for Adam Harding just to breathe a sigh of relief for the Basingstoke Bison. Here now is Jordan Spadafor. Nice wide past that. Lightning looking to stretch it. And that will be brought back for the icing.
It's the right idea there from Forsberg. He had Harry was wide open on the right hand side, just couldn't execute. It's unfortunate there. He would have had a good opportunity to get down the ice.
Well, here is the first face-off in the Lightning's defensive zone. We'll have Harrison on those stats as the night progresses. It's Harding versus Goodbye. I believe the Slovak is the winner of that one. There's a little bit of a fall there for the Lightning, and there is a shot there at Headley's near post. Danger not entirely cleared as Sellen takes a little bit of a tumble. Gulliver reads that one well off the boards. Back now in neutral ice, and well, in terms of Basingstoke, I mean, they have got plenty of danger going forward, haven't they, Ross, with the likes of Sellen, Spadafora. Both of those guys netted last time, and as we mentioned, Evan North, very underrated. Here is Janne Jokinen Jokinen trying to release Gulliver.
It was a little slow there on the transition there. If he could have got that across to Harry Gulliver, we'd have a nice 3-on-2 there, but unfortunately it got picked off. But yeah, as you say, they've got some real kind of quality on their imports, and they've come to the league, new to the league, aren't they? But they've been putting up some good numbers.
They really have. And speaking of talent and quality, I mean, what a forward line this is for the Lightning. Jordan Cowney, Sean Norris and Mac Howlett.
I mean, that should strike fear into most defenders' hearts, really, if you're looking at them as those guys skating towards you. Just, unfortunately, got a bit of a 3-on-2 here developing, but Malik picks that off nicely and a good turnover.
Yeah, it really was. Zone hasn't been entirely cleared, though. Basingstoke look to try and find Alex Samford. Lightning do well to intercept that, but just on cue, really, as we were talking about Evan North, he was the spark, he was the catalyst behind that counter, and as you said, Ross, could have been dangerous.
Yeah, could have been dangerous out there. We'll see what they can do off this face-off now. See if Jeff Flanagan's got anything up his sleeve on a couple of these plays, because it's a good opportunity for them now. Maybe some mind games going on there from Jordan Cowney on the face-off to see if we can get the win.
Just about to say, I think it's Zach Milton. Indeed it is. The opposite number there in the face-off as that one is deflected away. Ricochets to Mac Howlett. I mean, Ross, from what you've seen of Howlett, of course, he's made a real name for himself, hasn't he, up in Leeds as the Basingstoke Bison now.
Yeah, definitely. He's one of those players who's an absolute fantastic skater, and he can just get... He's so smooth, but he's got such good turn of pace as well. So he's been an excellent acquisition for the Lightning, really, especially at this point in the season to kind of get him someone of his quality. Has been really good, because I think it's kind of been needed at the minute from what I've seen, and I do keep up to date with a lot of it. I like to see what the boys are getting up to. I'm always looking at the NIHL website when I've not kind of come down to any of the games. So it's great to see that, and to get him on a 2.5 year deal as well. So smart bit of business, really.
Certainly is. Here is Howlett, back to Jordan Cowney. Cowney with the pass and Norris with the shot. Good save that by Max Wright, who has been a very solid goaltender so far, hasn't he, Harrison?
Yeah, he certainly has. I mean, 90.74% save percentage from 28 games, 3.41 goals against average. He's the second best import netminder in terms of statistics. Behind it was Hayden Levine. So that tells you everything you need to know, is that there is a lot of quality in net, and he's the reason that Basingstoke do come away with a good amount of wins.
Certainly is. Quality goaltender is Max Wright. Got a nice bit of trivia as well with the 02-03 theme. Of course, for those of a Basingstoke persuasion, in that season in the BNL, they also had a Canadian netminder by the name of Scott Hay. So a little bit of a tradition, I suppose, as such. Keeps in nicely with the theme as the Bison look to attack here. I mean, Morris was there, but he wasn't released. Instead, here is Andrew Heath. Heath now goes into Bison territory. He's
just delayed there. Instead of kind of taking it across, he didn't quite realise that Rossbond was quite level with him. He delayed kind of taking it. You've got to kind of get straight over the blue line. That's unfortunate, as we had a good 3-on-2 there.
Well, the opening 5.5 minutes have been and gone. It is still Lightning 0, Bison 0. Haven't really seen too many clear-cut opportunities as of yet, but still plenty of time to change that, as Spadafor just lofts that into the postage stamp. Thunders off those hoardings as Baird now, well, almost cannons it straight into the skates of a Lightning player. Instead, it's Basingstoke who can bring this forward now into their opposition's territory, looking to release Adam Harding. Jokinen now can try and counter for the men in black and yellow.
Lightning are setting up in a bit of a 1-2-2 or a 1-1-3 at the moment, trying to trap up the middle of the ice, as you can see on their breakout.
Spadafor gives that away to Spadafora. Almost falls favourably there to Brendan Sellen.
It's a good block there. We needed that. That was a good opportunity for them at the top line.
Certainly was. Here is Spadafor again, the man born in Calgary. The only Albertan import for the Bison this season. The rest of them born in Ontario. Here is Samford. James Griffin, the Lightning captain, just doing enough there, Ross, to disrupt the play.
Smart stick there, good stick work there to break that up and kind of take the hit and ride that out to keep possession as we move up the ice.
Nice pass there from Jokinen to
Oh,
Gulliver.
lovely, Harry. That was a great pass to the back door. Unfortunately, it just bobbles off the backhand.
There's Dominic Goodbye. Here is Cathcart now. Looks to unwind a howitzer. Comes back to Evan North. One of those.
Oh, what a hit from James Griffin. That is lovely. He'll think twice about that now, Evan North, and going into corners against James.
Sends a message, doesn't it? As Martelli gives that one to Sean Norris. Lovely turn there.
James Griffin has, over his tenure, has been known for some of his open ice hitting. He's got some great timing and he's incredibly strong on his feet. So it's good to see him back out there playing the way he should be.
Here is Howlett. Howlett now goes for a venture towards Wright's net. Nice little pass there.
Yeah, lovely to kind of keep possession. We need to get that's it, and he's gone straight to the front of the net. That's what you want to see, but we've got to do better at getting it through there from Josh Saunders. If Mac's kind of gone up there, he's given it back to the D and then worked his way to the front of the net. We need to do better to get there, cause some problems. Absolutely.
Liam Morris just being held up in that corner. Good work from Martelli again. Norris now just about to stay under pressure.
Lovely composure by Sean to kind of get out of that situation. And well done, Millie. Finding him. Let's see what we can make of this.
Oh,
wow, and that is brilliant. What a finish from Matt Howlett. Top glove, top corner. Sean Norris, as he kind of picks that up, it all started from him on the back end there, turning back out of trouble. The composure, then to find Malik, who set it up back through the middle. That was amazing. Lovely goal.
Certainly was, and that will be a great feeling, won't it, for Mac Howlett?
Yes.
Coming here to the Thunderdome, and I imagine, Ross, that will not be the first, or indeed the last time, I should say, that we see Mac Howlett netting for the Lightning right here in Milton Keynes. It's Lightning 1, Bison 0.
No, you can really see that line starting to kind of click together as well now. Like they're getting a bit of rhythm, which is really good for the Lightning, and hopefully it's going to cause the Bison some more trouble tonight.
Well, the official not happy with the lining up there. Face-off now has been taken, and Harrison, in terms of Howlett's stats, of course, he's one of the newcomers for the Lightning, but in terms of his numbers for the Knights as well, made some valuable contributions.
Oh yeah, he was up there with the points most seasons, basically getting a point per game and more. 70 points in the 23-24 season, if I remember rightly. He's not one to be taken lightly, and it's a shame that he's had as many injuries as he's had this season, but he's really starting to find his feet at this sort of back-end business end of the season, as you would say.
Most certainly is, and well, that is the big hope, isn't it, for the Lightning in terms of the league. Swindon Wildcats running away with it. In terms of the cup final, it'll be Leeds versus the Sheffield Steel Dogs, so it is pretty much all or nothing on those playoffs, as that one is just fenced away really by the blocker of Jordan Headley. Comes back to Josh Kelly. Kelly put under immediate pressure, and Ross, this is something I've picked up on already. Basingstoke with a forecheck. It's definitely something they're looking to exploit, as this is a lovely marauding run forward.
It's unlucky. He just got a little bit of a stick to it there, Gabage, didn't it? It could have gone anywhere from that deflection.
And that's come off of Wright's net. Jokinen applying a little bit of pressure there, but so important, isn't it, to attack as a pack on the forecheck, put those defenders under pressure.
100%. It's great to, if you've got a good forecheck, you can really wear a team down, and sometimes it's about playing a bit of the long game, really, with that forecheck, and then you start to see kind of the results of it in the second and third period there. If you can do that, and you can see that there's a bit of a younger, more inexperienced D with some of the injuries that you've had here, the Lightning this year. So I think they'll be really trying to utilise that. As you can see there, they're just getting to the red line and getting it in and then putting them under pressure. But so far, Lightning have done really well, getting back there. Lots of little bumps out there. Oh, what a hit there. She's got to keep his head up there. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best pass there to Jokinen. It was under a lot of pressure. He should have maybe chipped that off the boards there. You don't want to be giving your teammates a suicide pass like that.
I know. It's known as a hospital pass, isn't it?
Yeah.
That kind of one. But I'll tell you what, Ross, you couldn't tell that you're a defenseman with these reactions to the hits.
No, you like to see a good hit. You want to see a Lightning to that's it. Oh, Josh Kelly goes to step. It just misses there. And I think Mac Howlett probably takes the worst of that to the head, but he seems fine as he shakes it off.
Yeah, thankfully, no additional harm done there. We'll see some changes here for both sides. Sellen, Relf and Harding come back in, alongside of Baird and Spadafora. As for the Lightning, well, Jordan Cowney, as you can see right there, the 95 alongside Howlett and Norris. I mean, that is some line.
That's a lovely pass to James through the middle there to Matt Howlett, who's burst through. Oh, you find Cowney, unfortunately, he's a little bit behind him. Yeah.
Well, comes back now to Malik Martelli. Martelli looking to just add a little bit of extra speed to that one. Howlett slightly double teamed there, which I imagine we'll see this evening. I mean, you can just see in terms of the...
That's a great pinch there to kind of keep the pressure on him. Oh, lovely. See, that's what they've been missing there a little bit there. Matt Howlett getting straight back to the net and getting a deflection on the point. Oh, it's good recycle. Unfortunately, it's taking a deflection. See if...
But Sellen.
Oh, that's a heavy shot there on the low glove side.
Yeah, he's known for those cannons. Really is a thunderous finisher.
Oh, that's a lovely move of Sean Norris there. They've really got to kind of try and take the puck against Basingstoke's D. They're Baird and Rev, they're not always the best kind of skaters. They're not the fastest skaters. And so when you've got a line like Sean Norris, Matt Howlett, Jordan Cowney, you've really got to expose them there and using your speed and your skating ability.
Well, here is Jarvis Hunt, one of the newcomers for the Lightning in the 25-26 season.
Oh, it shouldn't have pinched down in here. We've got a 4-2.
A real opportunity. Good blocker saved that. I think
Wow.
the shot was Zach Milton.
I think that was more of a shaft. That's the goalie's friend there. It could be one of the most frustrating when you come down and you hit the button on one of those shots there. Well, Jordan Helly will be thankful for it though.
Most definitely will. You can see there
it's good hustle there by Elliot Lewis. Good strength. Keep it going.
And indeed they will. Kept the play alive. It's just that final pass. Good interception from...
I think he's after looking for a call there for the ref, but he's kind of kept his arms down. He's letting a lot go tonight so far. It takes a big deflection out front. A lovely shot by Jordan Spadafor. And Ross Bottom does well to recoup the puck there. Well, Callum Field trying to get it through to the net, but unfortunately just takes a little deflection wide.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Well, that could be close. Is he inside his zone there?
I think he's being called for it by the looks of it. There was a point to the box from the linesman.
Let's see what they go for.
Well, the discussion's being had, isn't it, from the trio of officials.
I think Bicknell's just kind of signalled there that it's taken a bit of a deflection off the glass. From up here, it kind of looked like it was straight out there. It looks like it's close to escaping the defensive zone, but I think that probably should have been a penalty call from up here.
Well, it is still a 5-on-5. No power play given, so it will be a face-off instead here at neutral ice. 7 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in period number 1. Still Lightning 1, Bison 0. Not for the first time tonight, Ross. We're having a delay with a face-off.
That's a good win though in the end. Josh Saunders as well to kind of get it in. Leandro Heath just gets blocked out there by Stuart Mogg. Is that experience of Stuart Mogg? He's been around the league for a long time. You can see the danger and kind of just cut him off there, so he couldn't put his defensive partner under pressure. Keep it in.
This is one of the young defensemen for the Lightning, Cole Jean-Andrea. Made his debut up in Solway, making just his 3rd appearance as Callum Field now goes for a venture forward. Max Wright called into action, does well. Goes back to the Scotsman, just 16 years old, product of Fife.
Does well there. He's under a lot of pressure, calm, makes the right kind of play, put it back up the boards away from the danger. It's good. I think Lightning have to kind of reinvest into some of these junior players as they're kind of going through. You've always kind of got to be doing. That's something that Nick Poole and team Vito and Harry did really well at Lightning back in the early days. Is having younger kind of talent, really spotting that. They brought the likes of Jordan Cowney, Lewis Hook when they first kind of came in. So it's important that you reinvest in that, so that as kind of players getting a little bit older. They're looking to kind of like move on, that you have a fresh bunch of talent kind of coming into the team.
Well, Basingstoke, nice passage of play this. So they just look to exploit some gaps in front of Headley's net. I mean, goodness me, that could have been close if there was the redirect from Harding. as a result, though, could be a potential chance for the counter.
Harry has to do a little bit better there and kind of clearing it there. It's kind of turned over.
They've won it back, though. Here is Griffin. So Jokinen just stays on side. Big hit there. Goodbye now. He's got Gulliver for company. Comes back to Gulliver. Gulliver back to Goodbye.
Ooh.
Tries to find Jokinen. Whiskers away from being a second for the Lightning. Falls kindly here for Harding. Harding back to Sellen. Sellen looking for the 5-hole. Good save that from Headley.
Good save. He does well to kind of control the rebound there and just kind of keep it out of the way. Is that Cochrane who's steaming in there?
Believe there has been a penalty called as well for the slash, so we will get our first power play / penalty kill, depending on your perspective, for this evening, as Janne Jokinen goes into the penalty box for the next 2 minutes. Harrison, with regards to the metrics of these two sides, how do they look in terms of the table?
Well, the Lightning on the PK are 7th with a 75.91% save penalty kill percentage. The power play for the Bison does need a little bit of work. It is last at the moment, 16.08 in the standings, so it's a good opportunity to change that.
Good shot in there from Ralph.
Yeah, there was an opening there with Tom Ralph, and Tom Ralph has been doing really well this season. He's on 20 points, and it's only 5 points off a career high, so he's definitely one to look out for on this power play.
Great work there on the stats from Harrison, as always. And here he is, right on cue, Tom Ralph.
He just dances around Forsberg. Didn't quite have the quality to finish there.
Well, it's a smart enough save, isn't it, from Jordan Headley at his near post. Just getting the body behind it, really, on that occasion. But good to see that for the Bison. Just having one of those saunters forward, putting some pressure on Headley's goal as Harding wins that back. It's now with Shankar. Shankar unleashes an effort, and that one has taken a wicked deflection into the plexi. Also watching out for the movement of Brendan Sellen, the 22 on the blue line. Really was a thorn in the Lightning side the last time that the two teams played here in Milton Keynes. Back now with Shankar. Just cycles that around to Stead. Here is the aforementioned Sellen to Shankar again. Shankar feeds it into the grinder. I mean, so many bodies in the slot there, and well,
Lightning been really aggressive there down low, but unfortunately can't clear the blue line.
There's a broken stick in there for good measure as well, isn't there? It's Goodbye just.
He's lucky to kind of get away with one there, Forsberg, a little cross-check from behind.
Back now with Shankar. Willie unleashed the shot. Nice pass there to Harding. Harding now with the efforts.
There's a lot of bodies in front there. I don't think Jordan Headley knew too much about that there, but we cleared the lines well. That's it. I hope we get a quick change. There's a little bit of afters going on there from Spadafor.
Certainly was. Just over 30 seconds remaining on this opening power play for the Hampshire side. Here is Griffin.
Smart there from James Griffin. He could have easily kind of rimmed it round, but he noticed the danger there. He blocked off the wall to kind of knock that back there for Jarvis Hunt. This
is also the tactic we've seen all year long with Rio Grinnell Park, really applying the pressure early doors before the attack can materialise properly. Final 7 seconds left on the power play. Here is Sellen. Sellen releases Samford. Samford now tries to cut it across the face of Headley's net. And Jokinen is out almost. Finds a way through though, but we are back to even strength. It'll be a 5-on-5 as the puck ricochets off of that broken stick. Howlett comes back in for the Lightning. Morris in for the Bison. That one lofted, should be dealt with here by Malik Martelli. Ice in the veins there from Malik as he gets taken down. Nice pass to release Mac Howlett. Howlett now goes for a little bit of a sprint down the left-hand side. He's got Sean Norris for reinforcement. Norris will come away with it. Jean Andrea on the blue line. Just operating on that point, but he's given it away in neutral ice. It's Samford again. On that occasion, Ross, just looking at the reinforcements, well, there weren't really any.
No, but he did well. He dealt with under pressure, and Sean Norris is playing with a little bit of an edge to him tonight. He's throwing his body out quite a lot for a guy who's of his skill level. So that's what we like to see.
Shanandrea.
Matt Howlett didn't just quite notice his number 90, his 86 that Shawnee's still having a little bit of a afters with Liam Morris as Jordan County wheels around the top of the offensive zone. He's so calm and comfortable on the puck.
Look at the slot.
It's fine. They're just trying to work it around nicely so they can get. Oh, it's unlucky from Jordan County until they can find a good pass there from the young defenseman to find Forsberg as he skates back in across the blue.
Here is Forsberg. Inside now to Matt Howlett. County is on the other side. Spadafor on the blue line.
Lovely pass to find him out. This is what we need. We need more of because we can't. Oh, what a shot! So Matt Howlett almost gets his second there. He's taken, I think, a bit of a hit to the face there off Liam Morris.
Yeah, definitely has. He's going to have to come off there.
I think Sean Norris is kind of giving it. Oh, there's a little bit of a tussle, and Sean Norris has gone for it. He's dropped the gloves as he's just wrestled to the ground off Liam Morris.
And it looks like a penalty has been called on the play as well down there. I don't think they were really aware that there was a fight going on at the bench.
Yeah, I think there's a holding call on the initial play over there, but of course our attention is here on the bench. I mean, Morris is still absolutely furious. Sean Norris will get the ovation, just gives it.
I like to see that from Sean here. It's not something you see every day from a guy like him, but he's trying to set the tone out here, and that's a good. It's good to kind of stand up for himself after they've had a bit of afters all the way down the ice and in front of the net, hadn't they?
Yeah, and Shankar's been called for a holding as well, but a stat about Liam Morris, he's been at the Bison for 4 previous seasons, and in each of the 4 previous seasons for the Bison, he has got over 100 penalty minutes, and he's well on his way to that again at the moment as well.
A little bit naughty there. He's throwing a couple wild shorties on the ice. I think Dan Watkins needs to get that door shut a little bit quicker as Shawnee's off balance, so he couldn't quite kind of get a good foot in there. But we'd like to see how this kind of progresses as he comes out of the box later on. I'd like to see that from Sean Norris.
I mean, there is a word for this in sport, and it's needle. I mean, that's what Sean Norris has been displaying tonight. He seems really fired up, and of course he was one of the standout performers less than 24 hours ago. Lightning defeated by the table-topping Wildcats, but he did get on the score sheet, and again, not to take Harrison's role from him tonight, but in terms of the regular season, he's just one away, isn't he, from 100 regular season goals for the Lightning.
It certainly is. It's a milestone which I think he's definitely going to be looking for tonight. He might not even know that is on the cards for him.
Oh no, I think he'll know. He'll know. Shawnee will. He'll know. He's an exceptional player. I remember playing with him just as he kind of came up when Lightning had the Elite League kind of like days, and he stepped up into MK Thunder as we were playing there, and he was an incredible kind of like talent. He really revolutionised like our team. Him and Sam Talbot as they came through. And then the following season, when we dropped back down into the NIHL, they stepped up into the Lightning. They've been great. They applied their trade with Lucas Smittle, and he did a great job kind of like developing them and seeing the player that he is today. So we'd like to see him. Hopefully he can get on the score sheet tonight and get that 100th goal.
It looks like a 5-on-4 as well for the Lightning, so a power play for the hosts, and when it comes to Lightning's power play, 3rd in the league, 29.31% is one of their strengths. The Bison, on the other hand, their penalty kill is also quite high, 5th in the league, 77.34%, and with 55.6 seconds left of the period, the Lightning are really going to want to try and extend that lead going into the second period.
They certainly are. I mean, that has been one of the real areas of strength, hasn't it, with the Lightning this season. Last year, it was almost the opposite story. I mean, the power play wasn't really as strong as the penalty kill, but
it's a good win there from Dom Kabai.
Certainly is. Comes back to Matt Howlett on the left points.
Oh, Harry, he just wasn't watching there. Maybe that's that Matt Howlett kind of coming straight into the team there. Just still taking a little bit of time to build that chemistry up, but this looks like a really dangerous line for the Lightning now. Oh, unfortunately, County just overplays that. As Forsberg is committed down low.
I think the one thing to note as well is that Sean Norris will 100% be on this power play as well. So he's going to be a big miss on that. And Howlett's the one that's taken that step up when Sean Norris is normally in that position.
It is a very strong line, though, isn't it? In terms of just shooters, you've got Forsberg, who, as we know, can unleash a howitzer at any moment. You've got Tom Gabai. I know Gulliver's just come into the mix now, but you had Cowney Howitz as well. I mean, absolutely unbelievable, that. Final 20 seconds or so remaining.
Oh, unlucky there on the win. Just a couple of inches away from Matt Howley. Could have unleashed Jordan Cowney out wide.
Will there be enough time for one final foray into Bison territory? Well, there will be if Dom Gabai has anything to say for it. Lovely change of speed there. Final couple of seconds. I don't think they're going to get the shot away. Indeed, they don't. And the buzzer will sound for the end of period number 1. An electrifying 20 minutes of end-to-end hockey, which comes to a conclusion with the Lightning up by 1-0. Ross Green, take me through that. What did you see from both sides?
I'd like to say Lightning, I thought, edged it there. They had the more kind of quality chances. Max Wright again, he's a bit of a wall at the back, and he's made a few vital kind of like stops. It was good to see the kind of connection that some of the forward lines are building up, and a bit of toughness shown from Sean Norris. So hopefully that's going to stand them in good stead going into the next period. They're not here to kind of be roughed up or taken lightly. So hopefully they can just kind of carry on that momentum into the next period on the power play, and have a bit of time now to sit down and go over a couple of things and maybe put together a bit of a set play and get a power play goal. So hopefully we can get an early goal and we'll go into the start of the period 2-0 up.
Well, that is certainly what the doctor plans on ordering for the Milton Keynes Lightning. An early goal, and hopefully the home side just continuing to go into the ascendancy. So that is the tale of the tape then at the end of period number 1. It is the Milton Keynes Lightning who lead this one by 1-0. And well, Ross, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on comms.
Thank you. It's been really fun. First time I've ever done this. So thanks for having me up here, guys. I really enjoyed it, and maybe, you never know, I might get the call for the next couple of games. But it's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you very much. Well,
it's been an absolute pleasure and a privilege as well. Number 21, Ross Green, a man with over 500 appearances for the Milton Keynes Lightning. We can now release him to go and enjoy the rest of this game. And of course, it's retro night here at the Thunderdome, and we have got a very special few interviews coming your way. So we'll take a little bit of a breather here on commentary, and we will return in just over 10 minutes' time for period number 2.
The Alpha LX3 Pro Stick is an all-around work beast. While Leon might not be the best shooter or puck handler yet.
What the hell?
Not you, him. But yeah, it's also suited for Leon Draisaitl. It's forged for those who face, tall orders. It's even made for this guy, the Alpha LX3. It empowers every type of player from stardom to startup.
website is your shop window. We create powerful websites, branding, and creative design that stand out and convert. A brilliant website deserves to be seen. Our SEO gets you ahead of competitors and seen first. And on social media, don't be left behind. We help you engage, grow, and influence where it matters most. 123 Internet, your partner for digital growth. Start today.
So hi everybody, welcome to Milton Keynes Lightning TV, and on this really special occasion, this special weekend, retro weekend against the Basingstoke Bison on Sunday, I'm really honoured to have been asked to come back and do a couple of interviews, and the first guy I'm going to speak to tonight is a Lightning legend. His shirt is up in the rafters, Leigh Jamieson. Welcome, Jamo.
Hey Dicko, good to see you again, mate.
You've been around this club since before the inception. You've seen it grow, you've seen it go all the way through, you've seen the highs, you've seen the lows and everything else. But I want to take you through your journey from when you first started back with Milton Keynes Lightning. So you'd been playing juniors in Milton Keynes. It was MK Juniors, Kings Juniors at the time, wasn't it?
MK Kings played juniors in Milton Keynes. Pretty much, obviously, we left for a couple of years when the rink closed, and then was in the Milton Keynes Juniors, and then started playing for the Kings. I think I was like maybe 15. Didn't play too much, and then a little bit when I was 16, and then obviously when I just turned 17, then when the Lightning was formed, played for the Lightning that first season, so. I
can pretty remember that, one of your very first games when you came on, and everybody's like, Milton Keynes Junior, get him on. What was it like going into that changing room as a 17-year-old? Because right now we've got people like Lewis Conroy, for example, who's in the changing room at his present time. What goes through your head as a young lad?
It's a good question. You just want to, you kind of just maybe sit there quite quietly because you're only young. Obviously your class as a rookie, but you just want to do your best. You want to make sure that you're doing the best you can and trying to improve. But obviously, when you're in a room at a young age, the older guys will tend to maybe take you under their wing and make sure, like for instance, I remember when I signed for the Lightning and Nick Poole started me on the first line with Dwayne Newman as my D partner, and like he was a great mentor for me, and obviously, no one went near me and things like that. So, the older guys kind of take you under their wing and stuff like that. So that's always good.
So you enjoyed that first season with Lightning. Everybody thinks, we've got a great bit of homegrown talent here. OP's around for a few years.
Yeah.
And then in the summer, you went and had a bit of a trial with Belfast.
Yeah. So I remember Nick Poole came around the house and he asked me to sign, and so I was ecstatic to sign for my hometown club. And then I think it was Harry. Harry was quite friendly with the owner of Belfast, and he said, "Why don't you go there for like pre-season just to help you get fit and stuff?" And then. A couple of weeks in, they asked me if I would stay, and I had to make that call. Paulie was, to be fair, Paulie was like, "Lee, you've got to take the opportunity," So, and obviously he wanted me to better myself. So and then spent some time there before, coming back to obviously my hometown club again for a long duration.
And obviously when we did re-sign you back, there was a lot of excitement because by that time you made your name in Belfast. You played in Coventry as well at elite league level. You'd represented your country as well. You're a GB international. Yeah. So what was it like coming back to a pretty established Lightning team and club after that?
Yeah, obviously, I kind of still kept in contact with some of the guys that were still here. Obviously, used to come back in for the summer and stuff like that. But you always, when you've grown up and played for the club, you always get that buzz, and you always want to play for your hometown club. So, it was an easy decision for me. I love playing in Milton Keynes, and so I was pretty excited to come back and then, try and win some trophies, which we did in my time here. So
which we did. Now come on to those in a second. And obviously when you came back into the club, that was at the time when it was really starting to form that core of players that, we're talking about like the Grant McPhersons, yourself, Michael Farn, Adam Carr and people like that, Matty Tawelski, Michael Wales and so on and so forth. That was an incredibly tight group of players, wasn't it?
Yeah, really tight. And I think that was one of the reasons why I think we were successful, because we had such a good core of players. And we obviously we had highs and lows, but we always stuck together. And like now we're all still great friends, and that makes a massive difference in a team when you've got everyone wants to play for you guys together. But yeah, it was definitely one of the reasons why I loved playing here as well.
When you say you love playing here, and there's so many players that want to come and play in this arena and for this fan base, you talked about the highs and the lows. We talk about the highs when the place is absolutely rocking. And over the years, we've had some great memories in here before the refurbishment, post the refurbishment, and so on. What is it like? Because I've seen you in the changing room, gearing yourself up, ready to come out on the ice. I know what you're like. I know when you get pumped up. But what is it actually like when you actually set foot on that ice?
Yeah, well, obviously, you're pumped with adrenaline, and obviously, when you hear the crowd, there's nothing better. And obviously, the fans of Milton Keynes are unbelievable. You see what it's like when you go to Coventry weekend. They take up pretty much the whole rink. And Milton Keynes has always had such a fantastic fan base, and that's one of the reasons why it's such a great club. Because when you come out, there's nothing to me when you're if you're down or something like that, and then the crowd will always bring you up. And I remember some games where obviously we were down a goal, and then you get one, and then you get another one. There was no better feeling if you're winning a game late and the crowd going mental. So yeah, it was.
And finally, after all those years, obviously you had the honour of a testimonial game here, and then after that, you come in here now and you've got your shirt is up in the rafters. Do you still come here when you come into the ring now? Do you still every now and again sort of cock an eye up there? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, like obviously it's a massive honour to have a testimonial, and obviously, and then to have your shirt obviously retired is it's a great accolade, obviously, and obviously, well, yeah, sometimes you look up and you go, but to be recognised by the club, to be given a testimonial and then have your shirt retired, is definitely one of the things you would obviously want on your bucket list from your career,
Going to put a bit of pressure on you now. Favourite moment?
It's a tough one. Do you know what? When I was driving here tonight, I knew you were going to ask me that question, and I struggled to think if it was when. Obviously, there's a couple. When I made my debut, and obviously, and then obviously when we won the league that first season I was back. No one expected us to win that league, and that was obviously the players we had and stuff, and the great core we had. But I'd say it'd be between winning the league and then winning the playoffs in Coventry, because of when the club kind of went a different direction up to the Elite League and stuff. I thought that was going to kind of be the end of obviously maybe some of our time in Milton Keynes. But yeah, it's hard to say between the playoffs and the league. They're both obviously two trophies you want to win. So, but the playoff one in Coventry, because it was quite a good party for a few days after.
Yeah, and you had a good shirt sponsor for that one, if I remember right. I've still got that shirt in the gallery somewhere. Brilliant. Thanks, Jamie.
No worries.
Well, welcome back to the Thunderdome, where we are less than 2 minutes away from the restart. We saw a very fast-paced and entertaining first 20 minutes, which saw the MK Lightning draw first blood and go into the lead by 1-0. And of course, this isn't the only game taking place on Super Sunday in the NIHL National. I'll throw to one of my co-commentators, the great Harrison Mills, to go through those scores. Harrison, how are the scores on the doors?
Well, up in Dumfries, it's not pretty reading for Solway fans. It is Solway Sharks 0, Sheffield Steel Dogs 5. all goals coming in the space of 5 minutes in the second period. Hull Seahawks lead the Bristol Pitbulls 4-1 at the end of the first. And the Peterborough Phantoms are currently level 2-2 at the end of the first period against the Leeds Knights. And the Telford Tigers and Swindon Wildcats, who have not long started, are level at 0-0.
Well, there you go. There are the scores on the doors, courtesy of Mr. Mills. And, well, I'm delighted to say that we've got another Lightning Legends in our presence here for period number 2. Ross Green has gone off to enjoy the game in the special seats below us. And, well, alongside me here in the commentary gantry is an absolute titan of the back for the Milton Keynes Lightning, a man with over 600 appearances for the club, 4-time EP IHL All-Star as well. It is the one, the only Leigh Jamieson. Leigh, great to have your company here. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, happy to come join for the second period. So, yeah, Ross done the first, I'm doing the second, and then the last one's a nice special guest for you, so it should be good.
Certainly is. Yeah, we are bringing out the big guns for Retro Night, and we asked this question to Ross, but in terms of those jerseys, does it bring the memories flooding back?
Yeah, it does. I remember putting that on, well, it was over 23 years ago, yeah, when I was 17 years old. So, and yeah, I think they look really, really good, if I'm honest with you.
They certainly do. Well, the Lightning win the opening face-off here in period number 2. And that is a nice release pass here to Matt Howlett, who looked very dangerous indeed in that opening 20-minute salvo. Back now to Dom Goodbye. Lightning happy to bide their time here as they pack a couple of players into the slot, looking to screen in front of Max Wright's net. Here is Howlett again. Has company in the shape of Goodbye on the blue line, takes a wicked deflection, and Max Wright in the end has to just palm that away with the blocker. Back now to Howlett. Howlett into the postage stamp. Gulliver looks to make the move. County just holding up possession for the time being. Nice switch of play here to Goodbye. Goodbye with the efforts. And safely held there by Max Wright. But the opening 45 seconds, Leigh, a good start that from the men in black and yellow.
Yeah, they're moving the puck around really well there on the PP. You could see County's so good on the puck. He's always looking to make a nice play, and they could maybe try and get open a little bit more, maybe move a little bit more, but yeah, 20 seconds left. We'll see what happens off the draw here.
Of course, yeah, that penalty still needing to be killed by the Basingstoke Bison. And here advancing forward is Brendan Sellen. Has looked the pick of the bunch for the Hampshire side so far this evening. He'll come back in possession, looking to unleash a sidewinder, and it has somehow found its way in. We'll have to take a look at the replay there. Headley is down in a heap. But did Evan North get the final touch on that? Well, here is the second look. It is a rasping shot, isn't it, from Brendan Sellen. North is there in the low slot, and, well, it appears as though it is Lightning 1, Bison 1.
That's a good play. He's a good player, that guy. I remember when the last time I came to watch the Bison, and he really impressed me. He's got great hands. He moves really well. And he just took a risk there. Just took a shot on there and kind of got stuck under Headley, and then the guy just kind of jammed it in at the end. So go to the net, good things happen, they say. So
certainly do. Headley still receiving a little bit of treatment here, but it's another short-handed goal that the Lightning have conceded on home ice. We saw it a little bit earlier on in the season. Kieran Brown just went on a venture all by himself, and well, now back at even Stevens. It's 1-1 with just over a minute played here in period number 2.
It looks like it kind of maybe caught Headley on the side and just maybe rolled around. It looks like it kind of caught him in an awkward position.
You can see there he is absolutely beside himself. Look of anguish on the face there of the Lightning netminder.
Looks like it's been ruled out.
Well, just looking here at the officials, I think you're right there.
I'm not sure. Kind of need to see on the replay, unless it was goaltender interference or something. I'm not 100% sure. Lightning got away with that one, I think. I don't know. We need to see it on replay.
Well, that could prove to be a big talking point from this game as Jokinen emerges with possession. So it remains Lightning 1, Bison 0. Here now is Elliot Lewis streaming forward, has another second bite of the cherry. And still the Lightning firmly in the Bison zone. Here is Forsberg, punched away with real vigour by Max Wright. Looking to stretch that down to Luke Spadafora. Spadafora over to Jordan Spadafora, the two Canadians playing a little bit of possession-based hockey there. Here is Jokinen. He's got Hunt arriving in the slot. Back now with Jordan Spadafora. Spadafora just dumps that off to Elliot Lewis, and that one has gone all the way back towards Jordan Headley. A couple of changes being made as well as Malik Martelli, Matt Howlett come back into the fray. Lewis tapping the stick with real venom there. He wanted that. Comes back to Martelli. Martelli winds up. And Wright just about does enough to cover that one. Can't quite fully smother it though. Now venturing forward goes Evan North. North back to Milton. Cochrane has made the move as well into the slot. Samford now with the effort. Back now with Cochrane. Not sure Headley knew too much about that, but no harm done for the Lightning. Allows them to clear the zone. Tell you what, Lee, that could have been very dangerous for the home side.
Yeah, it was a good rush there from Basingstoke. Looked like Headley took one off the head there at the end. So he's not having much luck, Headley, is he?
No, he's in the wars at the minute. Definitely feeling it so far as Harry Gulliver here looks to find Dominic Gabai. Bit of a foot race here for Bailey Thomas, the number 24, just 17 years of age.
He's really impressed me so far tonight. He's definitely got a really good future ahead of him.
Certainly has. Here is Cowney. Cowney goes it alone. Had Brynell Park arriving. Instead bounces back to Gulliver. Now with Cowney to Thomas, and Thomas unleashes his first real shot here this evening.
And Jordan Cowney at the moment is on fire. He's on a 7-game scoring streak, 25 points in his last 12 games. Those numbers are unbelievable, and you could tell there he was looking for the option to pass it to Rio Grinnell Park, and a little bit selfishly went for the shot and nearly beat Max Wright, but he's going to be up there looking for some more opportunities to get more points on the board.
It's interesting you mentioned there Moore, isn't it, Harrison, because he was one of the credited assisters for the opener, so he's already extended that streak.
It's a nice pass. Nice pass from behind the net. Cowney's a great passer. Like Harrison said there, he tends to look to pass a lot on a 2-on-1. Cowney rarely shoots. Sometimes he should be a little bit more selfish because he has got a great shot.
He has. He's got a deceptively quick shot as this one falls kindly for Field. Chance here for seconds.
Maybe not that one. He moves so well. He makes it look so easy. He's such a fantastic player.
There are times he quite literally glides across the surface. Very stylish skater, isn't he?
Yeah,
the Flying Scotsman.
He's got fantastic edge work. The way he just moves with the pockets.
Well, little bit of afters there.
I'm not sure what Max Wright was really doing there. Jokinen didn't look like he was pressuring him all that much.
Well, we are getting the benefit of the replay here. I mean, Wright just shoves him away. In the end, nothing further goes on after that, but, well, it's definitely had a little bit of need all this game. Saw that with Sean Norris and Liam Morris a little bit earlier on.
It's been a really good start to the second period. Good tempo from both teams. Both teams had some really good chances.
They certainly have. Back now with Jean Andrea. Great to see him get this opportunity as Norris, right on cue as we were talking about him, feeds that into neutral ice. Jokinen back to Norris. Now Janne Jokinen would love to end his own streak of going pointless for the past 5 matches. Here is Stead. Applying a little bit of pressure there to both Saunders and Headley. Falls now for Zach Milton. I mean, this is better from the men in white and green. Norris, though, comes over on the double team, just providing that support for his young defenceman. And Sean Norris now could go off to the races. Nice pass there to Janne Jokinen. Jokinen, drop pass here to Goodbye with the effort, almost. Comes there to Norris. Jokinen cycles it back. Here is Goodbye. The Slovak sniper, Griffin, comes in. Lovely move. James Griffin it is. Off the blocker of Max Wright. Work to be done here defensively by Adam Erskine. And he has found Milton. Cochrane now makes a little bit of a move. Sanford comes in as well. Said it's back now with Erskine. Erskine on the turn. That one to no avail. Cochrane looking to muscle his way back into Lightning territory. In the end, that was rather kindly for the Lightning. Deflected off the stick of Rosbottom. Could fall here for Lewis. Kick saved by Wright.
It's a bad turnover there. You can't make that play in defensive zone. Just tried to make a little chip pass.
That's another fizzing effort towards Headley's net.
Definitely got away with one there, Basingstoke.
Yeah, I think that would have been a real heart-in-mouth moment for Jeff Flanagan's side. I mean, Martelli there flirting with danger. Under a slight bit of duress from Sanford, but Martelli going alone. Tries to fence it in near side. Still it's with Malik Martelli. Martelli looks to turn that into the mixer. Instead it's with Harry Gulliver. Gulliver showcasing the handles. Nice change of speed here from the Lightning. You can see the tempo as Forsberg now winds up for a cannon. Nice Spatterfall's turn. Of course, Lee, as a defenseman, you like to see that, don't you?
That's a nice shot. He's got a fantastic shot. Every time I've watched him play, he would like to take that one in the ankle. Stand to the front. Yeah, he's a good player, Forsberg. He's really good, really calm. Yeah, he's got a really heavy shot. Someone you want to have on your blue line, especially on your PP, whenever a shot like that.
Well, it may come here to Patrick Forsberg. Forsberg drops it off to Gulliver. Gulliver dispossessed. There'll be a little bit of a foot race here. Back into the zone, given away here to Harding. Harding now. Thankfully for the Lightning, they get away with that one. Headley more than up to the challenge.
It's both Lightning and Basingstoke there, kind of making some bad plays in the defensive zone there, so kind of got away with that.
How about that for some skill from Mac Howlett?
He's been really good so far tonight. From what I've seen, I haven't obviously seen all the highlights, but since he's come in, he seems like a great addition to the team, to be fair. He's got fantastic pace.
He really does. And
yeah. I wouldn't like to be a defenseman when you're looking at a line of Cowney, Norris and Howlett. Some serious speed on one line.
Well, Lee, this is why it's great to have former players like yourself here in the comms box, because as much as myself and Harrison love the game, we've not had the opportunity to go out there and play. Let's say you're facing off against a line of that quality. As a defenseman, as a leader at the back, how would you go about just stifling them, per se?
You have to play smart against a line like that, because they've got so much speed. You have to make sure you're making the right decisions. Like, you can't be pinching, because you pinch down too much, and with that speed, you know, they're burning you, because like that's a lot of pace. Yeah, they look really good, that line so far. So and it's crazy that they're all British as well. Yeah, so
great to see, isn't it? I mean, this is one of the.
But if that, you know, obviously coming into the second half of the year, and if that line can find some form, I think it could really help the team moving forward for the second half of the season.
Most definitely could. Here is Thomas. Thomas now unafraid to shoot. Good to see that from the 17-year-old, but now could be a potential counter here for the visitors. Broken up there on the left-hand side of the Lightning zone. Saunders there flirting with danger. Sanford looking to hack that one away as Milton, the latest Bison player, to put a little bit of discomfort there for the Lightning defenders, but you know, of course, on paper, it does look nice, doesn't it? Just the line speed that those guys possess, and of course the skill. We've seen that from Mac Howlett. We know what Sean Norris is capable of. You know, he's now a GB international. And then you mix that in with the experience on the other lines, with your Dominic Goodbyes, your Jordan Cowneys. I mean, something to watch out for heading into the latter stages of the campaign.
Yeah, 100%.
Talking the British forwards, here is Milton, and that one, I think, may have actually deflected off of Headley's helmet.
Top of Headley's glove, maybe.
Either way, it's taken a wicked ricochet, hasn't it? Whether it was the top of the glove or just glanced the helmet.
It's kind of like a knuckleball, wasn't it?
He's certainly been in the thick of it at times as Jordan Headley. Here is Selland looking to find Spadafora.
Every kind of game I've been to so far this season, and obviously, you know, social media and stuff like that, it seems like Headley's having a fantastic year. He's a great goalie, Headley, and yeah, it looks like he's really been on form this season.
Certainly has. He's the second all-time in terms of appearances for the Lightning. 206 and counting for Jordan Headley. And just to back up that statement, Harrison, in terms of save percentage, how's he looked so far this campaign?
So far, 30 games and 90.05 save percentage, still up in that very high upper echelons of the save percentages, and one of the top Brit netminders in the league, up there with the likes of Rennie Marr, Sam Gospel. There's a lot of players, a lot of teams that would love to have Jordan Headley in their side.
Certainly are. Speaking of people called Jordan, here goes Cowney. Howlett hacks that one back. Spadafore back to the Scotsman Cowney. Finds Howlett. Howlett, lovely little turn and pass there from the former Leeds Knights man. Forsberg back now to Howlett. Howlett with the change of direction and speed. Finds Spadafore on the left point.
Exactly what we're talking about. Line in possession. Good, some nice passes around the zone.
They were up until that final pass, weren't they? It's just put them under a little bit of pressure. Forsberg has done well, though. Draws two men off that passage of play. They'll have to do some more defensive work here against Milton. Milton it is. Milton might go alone. Shot gets blocked. And the danger for the time being has been averted, but you know, in terms of the two netminders, two of the finest goalies in the league, and well, as we saw against the Leeds Knights, how on earth do you score against Sam Gospel? He is quite the player, isn't he?
Sam's a great goalie. He's been stellar for Leeds over the last few years, and yeah, when he's come up big, used to frustrate the life out of me.
I imagine the forwards are the same as well, Lee. Yeah, he has been the
ringing shots at him, and he just kept saving and saving. But yeah, no, he's.
Oh, this one's slightly messy. We'll come back to Sanford, and Headley closes down the angle on that one. Fortunately for the men in black and yellow.
Good patience by Headley there. Stay composed.
I think it was Jokinen there who really just lost his man and couldn't decide whether he was going to track with Malik Martelli on the far side or keep his man on that near side, and nearly caused a little bit of trouble for the Lightning at the back, but in the end Jordan Headley came up strong, as he often does.
We certainly did. Back now with Shankar. Shankar thinks about taking the effort, and that is a fine catch in the end by Jordan Headley with the glove. 8 minutes and 55 seconds remaining on the clock here in period number 2. Haven't seen a goal as of yet. Of course, that effort from Sellington North being disallowed a little bit earlier on, so it is still Lightning 1, Bison 0. And the next goal, without sounding too cliche, really is going to be vital for both of these sides. That one held up by Goodbye. In the end, nutmegs Adam Harding. That now allows for Janne Jokinen to find a little bit of space. Here goes the Finn flying forward, has Rodbottom. So too is Martelli. Martelli there. Rosbottom just couldn't get the stick in the right location.
Great play from Malik, jumping in the play there.
Really was. Just reinforcements arriving. Also sows a little bit of confusion and chaos amongst the defence. Here is Rosbottom again to Goodbye. Goodbye. Well, the venom was taken out of that shot as a result of the block, but simple save in the end for Max Wright, as we see many a change for both sides. Likes of Stead Erskine, Cathcart back in for the Bison. Park, Saunders, Jarvis Hunt, Elliot Lewis for the home side. This is why Jarvis Hunt has been brought in to the team to try and win those face-offs. He's done so in the end.
Puts the shift in. He works really hard.
That's a big hit into the side. And it has been a physical game as this encounter. Here is Elliot Lewis on the backhand. That one just fenced forward. Wright comes out of the crease. Nice call there from the Canadian netminder. Be a potential opportunity here for Basingstoke. I mean, Leigh, without putting you on the spot, of course, this is retro night, back to 2002-03. Who would you say was the Jarvis Hunt of that team? Just a nightmare on the face-offs.
Trying to remember who played on the team then. A long time ago, 23 years ago, wasn't it? I'm trying to think. I think it was only me and Mark Cratter were the only young players. Obviously, I was only 17 when that season. But I think only me and Mark Cratter were the only two juniors in the team that year. So,
as we're having this chat, the net has come firmly off of its mooring, so the officials will have to just wind that back into place. Of course, for those who may be tuning in a little bit later or aren't aware of why the Lightning are playing in this special jersey tonight, it is retro night here at the Thunderdome, celebrating that 02-03 season, which was a victorious one. The first ever campaign for the Lightning, finished second in the league and went on to win the playoffs. A rather healthy margin as well, wasn't it? Against Peterborough, 16-4 after the two legs.
I can't remember who won the league that year.
It was Peterborough.
Was it Peterborough?
Yeah, they had 71 points to the Lightning, 66. This one now falls kindly for Forsberg, and Forsberg with the latest effort. Howlett has been taken down there, but Bison have done enough to clear the line, trying to release Evan North. We haven't seen as much of him in the last 10 minutes, but he's always got that dangerous presence about him. Harding over to Sanford, back now with North.
This period could go either way, to be fair. Both teams have had some good chances.
Yeah, it's dangling on a little bit of a knife's edge at the minute. It's goodbye Jokinen, Rosbottom, Forsberg in there for Milton Keynes.
They've definitely improved on some of their results recently, I think, Basingstoke. I know they had a few suspensions in the last couple of weeks, but it seemed like they're definitely a team that's improving. Obviously, it's their first season back in the league, so it will take time for the players to gel and stuff like that. There's a good chance here. Oh,
great chance for Jokinen, wasn't it? Comes away to Rosbottom. Has goodbye for company. So plenty of danger on the blue line. Instead, they opt to go back to Rosbottom, who, as this period's gone along, he's just getting into his groove. Getting a little bit more rhythm, a little bit more confidence as the backhanded pass finds the aforementioned Rosbottom. Here to Jokinen, tries to find his number two. He can't do so. Good interception there from Shankar. Goes all the way down the ice, and, well, in the end, Headley has to freeze the puck. So 6 minutes and 1 second remain on the clock here in period number 2. And, of course, Leigh, we've alluded to it, but the fact that you were 17 years of age, right, making that step up in terms of minutes played in the second tier of British ice hockey, how pivotal was that season in terms of your development? We'll talk about that after this play from Milton as Rosbottom goes off in pursuit. Milton does well to keep his cool. Bullied off the puck, though, for the time being. Spadafor over to Forsberg. Lovely release there to Jokinen. Jokinen to Rosbottom. Tries to find the Finn, instead finds the Slovakian forward, Dominic Gabai, the big towering centre. Nice pass there to Jokinen. Can Jokinen finish it off? No, he's just had it pinched away at the last second, and now there'll be a foot race here in neutral ice. Won by Malik Martelli. Spadafor now cycles that round, but yeah, going back to the question, Leigh, how big was it in terms of your personal development?
Yeah, I think the first season I remember I was 17 years old, and Paulie had partnered me with Dwayne Newman, which was obviously a great mentor for me, like fantastic player, and yeah, he really helped me. And yeah, obviously when you're only young, you're obviously nervous, but you know, Paulie said to me I was going to, oh, hold on, unlucky. Nice play from Matt Howlett there. I was going to play, and you know, I kind of grew in confidence, and then kept improving that season, and then kind of led me on to where I kind of went the next year, you know. So
well, it was some career, wasn't it, J-Mo? I must say, over 600 appearances, top 3 in terms of all-time assists for the Lightning. As speaking of assist men, Cowney gives that to James Griffin. Oh, here is Howlett again.
Good possession from the Lightning here.
Really is. It's sustained pressure, this.
Yeah, they're all working really hard, making some nice plays.
And even here on the forecheck, immediately putting the Bison under a little bit of distress. Tickle over 4 minutes remaining here in the period.
Be good if Lightning can keep this possession up for the next. Try and pinch one here before the end of the period. I think it would be a big goal if they did.
Certainly would be.
Set them up nicely for the third period.
Here is Cowney. Cowney does find Norris. Great control there from the GB international. Passes over to Elliot Lewis. Lewis now with the handles. Lewis with the finish. And Elliot Lewis busts out the celebration and gets the Lightning second on the board. It's Lightning 2, Bison 0. And Elliot Lewis, ice in the veins. Talk me through that one, Lee. That is a fine finish from MK's 29.
Yeah, nice play from Sean Norris there, and nice little toe drag from Elliot Lewis, and that's a fantastic finish. Bar down. Oh, that's a great goal. Like I said, that's a massive goal in my opinion for the Lightning going into the third period. They've had some really good possession, and they've kind of been all over Basingstoke for the last 2 or 3 minutes here. So, yeah, big goal.
Really is. Harrison, take us through the stats on that. Elliot Lewis, he's having a decent campaign, isn't he, for the home side?
Yeah, he certainly is, and that's his 9th goal of the season. He's only 2 points, off his total from last season for the Bristol Pitbulls, and you can see the impact he's having on the third line. There's a lot of work rate on that line. You can see him there with Callum Field, Jarvis Hunt. He's played with Rio Grinnell Park as well on that third line, and he's just a bundle of energy. And he's also got a heck of a shot on him as well. Certainly
has. Lovely finish that. Very astutely taken. Here is Rosbottom. Rosbottom now. Just wide of Wright's goal. And well, there's more pushing and shoving there in the high slot.
I think Jarvis Hunt was doing a great job in front there. I don't think he touched Max Wright, to be fair. I'm not really sure why a penalty is being called here. Interesting if we could see the replay, because I don't think he really touched him at all. But
well, it has been called. Jarvis Hunt is going into the box. So there will be another power play coming up here for the Basingstoke Bison. Unsuccessful on the first, but they have got an opportunity now to rectify that and drag themselves back into the contest.
This will be a big kill for the Lightning if they kill this off. There's something coming up on the replay here, but I don't think that's a penalty. But
either way, it has been given. Here is Sellen. Sellen looks to go 5-hole. Headley was alert to the danger. Back now with Adam Harding. Harding to the blue line where Shankar is operating. Plenty of men in the mixer as Sellen unleashes an effort wide of Headley's goal. Goodbye has been taken down. Still the Bison coming forward. That one, the latest backhanded shot dealt with by Headley. And that's already the first 30 seconds killed here on the penalty. Spadafor, Norris, Howlett, Forsberg. That's your quartet for Milton Keynes. Here is Shankar. Nice pass there to the on-rushing Sellen. Sellen, though, under.
Good forecheck from Matt Howlett there.
Really is. I mean, he's a bundle of energy as well. So too is this man, Will Stead. Stead now putting on the afterburners. Gives it across to Spadafor. Sellen looking to screen it. So too is Stead. Here is Shankar. Shankar weighs up the options. Looks to go.
Good stick.
Across the ice, and now Sean Norris will race off in pursuit. Play broken up by the aforementioned Spadafor. Spadafor with the change of direction. He's got company there with Sellen on the right point. Samford as well makes his move into the slot. So too does Ralph. Could come back to Samford. It's Harding now in the turnaround. And in the end, it is Samford, the number 29 for the Bison, who finishes off the play. And it is a successful power play for the visitors. It's Lightning 2, Bison 1.
just looking on this replay here, that's an unlucky bounce. Heady made a fantastic save there, and it just popped straight out to Sanford. It's not a lot you can do there. Watch this first save from Heady. That's a fantastic save to get across. Kind of unlucky there, Headley. So
even there, I mean, Matt Howlett was the defender in question, but it's just one of those. It's who reacts quickest, isn't it? You can't do much about that.
You know, everyone's kind of crashing, trying to protect the net, and it pops out. It pops out quick as well, and pops out a little bit too far. So yeah, there's not a lot you can do there. Like I said, Headley made a fantastic first save, and you know, sometimes you can't kick the bucket where you want to go every time. It just popped onto Sanford's stick, so a bit unlucky.
Well, here he goes again. It's certainly given him an injection of confidence.
Yeah, it's kind of gave Basingstoke a little bit of lease of life here coming into the end of the second period. So, but it should set up a nice third period, obviously, for watching. So,
yeah, grandstand finish. Here we go again. It's Jordan Cowney. Cowney just holding it up there. The Scotsman biding his time. Assesses the options. Rosbottom to Jokinen. Cowney now always look for his movement off the puck. He's like a phantom, isn't he? Just saunters into those good areas. Here is Patrick Forsberg. Forsberg now. Imagine he may just dump this off to Cowney. Indeed he does. Back to the Finn. Lovely change of direction on the pass as Jokinen finds Spadafor. Forsberg under pressure on the blue line.
Just get it to the net here. 25 seconds left. Put it to the net and see what happens.
If there is a man to do that, it would be Jordan Cowney. Instead, it's back with Jordan Spadafor. Spadafor flicks it cross ice. Will there be one last opportunity? Here is Spadafor, takes the one-timer. Forsberg ends up in possession. Here is Forsberg, tries to find Rosbottom. And in the final 5 seconds, I don't think there'll be enough time for another chance. Indeed there won't. The buzzer sounds. And that brings to an end another enticing period of ice hockey at the Thunderdome. It's Lightning 2, Bison 1. Leigh Jamieson, take me through that.
I think it was quite an open period. Both teams had some really good chances. Both goalies made some good saves. Headley made a couple of really big saves, but I think, yeah, I think it's a fair period, to be fair. I think Lightning had a little bit more possession, could have maybe finished a few more chances off, but like I said a minute ago, I think it kind of sets it up nicely for a good third period coming up. So
certainly does, and if we are to wind back the clock back to 2002-03, the first ever game which featured the Milton Keynes Lightning against the Romford Raiders, finished 7-7. So we'll wait and see. There could be a crazy finish, who knows? But yeah, what we do know, Lee,
I do remember that. But then I also remember the next day because I broke my arm the next day.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was out for about 4 weeks. But yeah, I do remember the 7-7, and that was a long time ago. So, but it was great. That was, you know, when the Lightning was first formed, and it was great night. Obviously a great game to watch, 7-7, you know. So
yeah, one of those where you certainly get your money's worth. So the two teams have departed the ice. Of course, we have got some more content coming your way during the period break. But Lee, just one final question. We haven't had the chance to ask it, but the 02-03 season, what would you say was your personal highlight from that campaign?
It's kind of a tough one. Obviously, winning is always winning trophies is always what you always want to do. But I think for me, just more being given the opportunity from Nick as a 17-year-old to play and grow in confidence and improve. Just to be a part of the Lightning, really. You know, obviously I grew up in Milton Keynes as a Milton Keynes junior, and then, you know, played for the Kings. Obviously not a lot for the Kings because I was only 16, and then when you get asked to play for your hometown club, it's an honour, you know. And I think, yeah, for me that was my favourite part about it.
Well, it is a lovely, lovely highlight of your career, and of course we all know what you went on to achieve. So, Lee, all that's left for us to say is thank you for your company here in the comms box. We'll let you go and enjoy the period break and, of course, the final 20 minutes of regulation. And when we return, we will provide you with all of the action live here on Lightning TV as the home side look to force home the advantage and take away the 2 points. We'll join you again in around about 10-15 minutes' time.
website is your shop window. We create powerful websites, branding, and creative design that stand out and convert. A brilliant website deserves to be seen. Our SEO gets you ahead of competitors and seen first. And on social media, don't be left behind. We help you engage, grow, and influence where it matters most. 123 Internet, your partner for digital growth. Start today.
Alpha LX3 Pro Stick is an all-around work beast. While Leon might not be the best shooter or puck handler yet.
What the hell?
Not you, him. But yeah, it's also suited for Leon Draisaitl. It's forged for those who face, tall orders. It's even made for this guy, the Alpha LX3. It empowers every type of player from stardom to startup.
Well, everybody, once again, welcome to Milton Keynes Lightning TV. I'm once again honoured to be asked to come and do some interviews for the retro game coming on Sunday against Basingstoke Bison with Lightning's great history, of course. And I'm really, really glad to be sat here with Lightning head coach, general manager, as was player coach, Nick Poole. Nick, first of all, welcome and thanks for coming along.
It's fantastic. It's a real honour to be back and looking forward to Sunday.
It seems like it doesn't seem like that long ago since you first came to Milton Keynes. It's almost 30 years since you were first training in this rink with London Knights. And obviously that's where you put your roots in Milton Keynes from then on. But 2002 is where it really started with Milton Keynes Lightning, of course, with yourself, Harry, Simon Howard.
Vito,
and Vito, yeah. And I can still remember the first time when I was working in the Seat dealership, you all came for that first meeting to start, because you needed transport, didn't you?
We did. We needed everything. We, it was a real eye-opener. Kind of Howie and myself. Harry started it, spoke to me because I was affiliated with the junior program at that time. And then right away I was like, I've got to get some good people on board. And, Howie and, got to get the best captain I knew was Dwayne Newman. So we brought him in and we needed a general manager. And I knew Vito through the junior. So we brought Vito in and we had this fantastic group of people, and there was a massive amount of enthusiasm, and it was, back then it probably wasn't the best hockey, but it was without a doubt the best time I've had in hockey. I just thoroughly enjoyed it.
Was it a really steep learning curve for you? Because obviously Vito had a really big business background, as did Harry, so they could take care of a lot of the ISO stuff, but when you're looking at putting the team together and everything behind the scenes, was that quite a steep learning curve?
Yes and no. I mean, to be honest, kind of everybody had their little niche. So Harry was, he sort of dealt with all the league structure, kind of politicking with the rink, the league, and he was very, very good at it. Vito was, obviously commercial background, great with contracts, great with sponsorships, fantastic with getting, volunteers on board in the rink. And then, my job was, creating a hockey team. And, once I had Howie and Dwayne, we got Gary Clark and some of the local lads. And we just sort of right away, everybody bought in, the players did. And it was a great, great first sort of 5-6 years.
I remember going back then, you've always had this ethos about the kind of player that you wanted to bring into the club, not just the team, but the club and the environment in general. They didn't have to be
you know, it wasn't just about what they did on the ice. It was how it was a dynamic, wasn't it? It was the overall dynamic of the whole club.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it just wanted good people, and we got lucky. You know, probably the thing I'm most proud of when I look back at 15 years is the people that we had involved. You know, they're friends to this day. You know, it started off with local lads. You know, Dean Campbell, Phil Wooderson, Gary Clark, Simon, and so forth. And then we brought in players like Adam Carr, Grant McPherson. You know. Who else did we bring
Michael
in?
Farn.
Michael Farn, Lewis Christie, who actually ended up, you know, kind of.
Well, their roots are here now.
They rooted here, and I think you look back, and you know, we created that. We created a whole little culture and community, and really, really proud of it. And you know, still a few players that are still playing for the Lightning that I kind of feel that I, you know, sort of touched along the way. But it's been a great ride.
Can you pick out? There's going to be loads and loads. It's such a roller coaster ride in your time. You know, with the club, can you pick out a couple of bits that actually really stand out for you as wow?
I don't like. You know, there were some great wins. You know, probably don't look back, and it's not so much winning the trophies. It was just sort of the experiences that we had. And you know, I remember, you know, when we lost to Isle of Wight, you know, on the road. I think the first 2 or 3 years, and I think I said something silly in the paper about, you know, we needed like some sort of exorcism, and then you and a couple others dressed up as monks, and just there was all these sort of moments like that you know, the fans got behind. But like I said before, the thing I'm most grateful for is just the, you know, a great time spent with friends, and you know, we really worked hard together. We played hard a little bit off the ice as well. You know, there's nothing better than, you know, winning back-to-back games on the weekend and having a beer in the bar afterwards with the road team. And I loved it. It was great. You know, we managed to win, I think, 7, 8 trophies along the way in my time, and the club's gone on to become more successful and grown and won more trophies. So yeah, it's, you know, it's been a great ride.
And you still come back and watch Lightning games, don't you? With you know, with fondness.
I do. Yeah, I do. I mean, unfortunately, my day job is pretty much weekend based. I do a lot of kind of social events on a Friday and Saturday night. But you know, the Tom and the team have been great about sort of letting the old guard feel a part of the present day team. So it's very welcoming. And you know, I come back and I kind of marvel on a Sunday how big the crowds are. You know, it's incredible.
I asked Leigh Jamieson this question as well, and I'm going to ask you the same question. And we've always asked players this, but we know what this place is like when it's absolutely rocking. What is it like the minute you step through that plexi and come onto the ice when the whole barn is behind you?
It's great. It's just an extra. It's just, you know, an extra player on the ice. It's a feeling. You know, you know when you're down, if you can get that goal and get the crowd behind you. You can sometimes see the other team just starting to fold and to wilt. So yeah, it's great. You know, the fans play a fantastic part. It's a great place to play, and that's why Milton Keynes over the years has been a destination that a lot of good hockey players, they want to come and try it out here.
Brilliant. Listen, Nick, thanks so much for your time. It's been brilliant. Thank you. So, Jamo, bring us up to date. Shirts up in the rafters, retirement. What are you up to now?
Just spending some time with the family, really. It's nice to have weekends where you have no plans and stuff. Kids are growing up, obviously 2 girls, and they started Irish dancing, so I kind of drive them all over the country. Listen,
I never thought I'd see that.
Yeah, so yeah, it's good. It's nice because obviously, you know, they spent all the years following me around, and yeah, it's nice to give back, and you know, they enjoy it, so that's the main thing. So
you still get down the rink as well, though. It's still part of your community as well, isn't it? And you haven't stopped playing. You're involved with some of the ex-Lightning guys and guys from other teams as well, the Lizards.
Yeah, so yeah, I try and come down as much as I can. Obviously, it's nice, like, you know, some of the old boys, we kind of come down together. Maybe Paulie, Kazi, Funny, you know, all the usual kind of lot. But yeah, so we've Kazi recently set up a rec team. Obviously, they've been going for like, I think 3 or 4 years now. But yeah, it's we're playing some tournaments abroad, but yeah, all the old boys, it's fantastic. We have such a great time together, and I'd like to say, I said in the past, we've built friendships that will last for a lifetime, and yeah, it's good that we all still kind of get together once a year to play some hockey still.
Brilliant. Well, listen, thanks for coming down for the interview. Sunday night's going to be absolutely fantastic as we go through Retro Night, just remembering, the club from years and years gone by, and there's a lot of history here, and you're a big part of that, so thanks for coming.
No worries. Yeah, looking forward to Sunday. It should be a great night. Good tickets still available.
So Nick, what I want to do now is bring it up to present day, because everything obviously has gone pretty much full circle for you. Obviously, you've mentioned you've got your business outside of ice hockey as well, which is really successful. But you haven't put the ice hockey away, have you?
No, so I obviously after I stepped back as coach, I was kind of involved very loosely with the club for a couple of years, and then kind of stepped away full time. But my daughters, they got the itch. Both of them, Chloe and Freya, kind of dabbled with it, and Freya really kind of got keen on it about two and a half years ago, and she's now playing for the junior team. And also with the ladies, the Falcons. So I've got back involved, and to be honest, I absolutely love it. It's been really, the break was good. It was good to step away, but it's been really nice coming back.
Does it also give your wife Andrew a bit of a break from you as well?
Yeah.
Like back in the day.
Yeah, no, she. To this day, I don't think my wife ever saw me score a goal. She's up. She loved it. She loved the social side. I think she'd come up, have a glass of wine, chat with her friends. I'd come up, and I don't even know if she knew what the score was half the time, but that was great because there was never any pressure from her. She didn't seem to that bothered about the sport. But my daughters love it now, Freya in particular, and it's great to, as a family, we kind of crisscross the country and supporting her.
How do you think your daughters feel? I don't know whether you'll know this, but how do you think your daughters feel when they're out on the ice up there and if they cock a little side eye, their dad's shirt is hanging up there in the rafters?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think, I'm sure they kind of like it. I get more enjoyment out of her game now than anything else. So, as long as she likes it, enjoys it, and gives it her best, it's good enough for me.
And we talked about this earlier as well. We talked about the way the club really embraces its history and everything else. And, it's brilliant, isn't it? The club has things like the Retro Night. It embraces the previous players. And in fact, the people that have been involved in the club, myself included, it's brilliant to be involved in stuff like this.
Yeah, I think it is, and it's it's I think the culture of a team is super, super important. I mean, that was something that we stressed back in my day, where we had this great group of Brits that really were the heartbeat of our team. And I think Tom and company are trying to kind of make sure that there is a culture and a feeling of togetherness, amongst the present day Lightning. So really good to see.
Long may it continue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. Thanks, Nick.
Cool.
Welcome back to Planet Ice Milton Keynes, where we are just over a minute away from the resumption of the action in this NIHL national match between the Milton Keynes Lightning and the Basingstoke Bison. Brought to you live right here on Lightning TV. course, we heard some scores on the doors, didn't we, ahead of period number 2. And Harrison, you have got those latest scores as well. So walk us through those across the league.
Certainly will. It is currently Solway Sharks 0, Sheffield Steel Dogs 8. That is not a scoreline that is pretty for those up in Dumfries. Then it is Hull Seahawks 7, Bristol Pitbulls 2, Phantoms 2, Knights 2, and Tigers 1, Wildcats 1.
There you go. They are your scores on the doors. We are ready then. Let's play some hockey, and the Lightning win the opening face-off here in period number 3. And, well, the guests just keep on coming as Goodbye finds himself in possession of the puck here. Just shoots wide of the target on that occasion. Jordan Spadafor keeps the play alive. Back to the Slovakian. Basingstoke can clear the zone. Nice play into neutral ice. And, well, the first real shot of anger directed at Jordan Headley. Well, we've alluded to him all night long. I am joined by Lightning number 91, Nick Poole. Nick, you've joined us at a great time here.
Really a bit tense, tenser than it needs to be. I was really pleased to see Lightning get a 2-goal cushion, and then kind of with a minute and a half to go in the second period, Basingstoke got a pretty timely goal for them, which certainly makes it a tense third period.
Certainly does. Well, it's an absolute pleasure to have your company. We'll hear plenty of insight, I have no doubt about that, as the period progresses. Brendan Baird in possession here. Just given away, though, in neutral ice as Jordan Cowney steams forward. Cowney's been taken down. The arm goes up straight away, and this will be a penalty.
I think Cown's having a little bit of a laugh there because he kind of tripped on his own toes there, so I don't think that was really a legitimate call, but we'll certainly take it. I like Cowns. You can see Cowns and Mac have already formed quite a nice little relationship. They look really good together.
They really do. I mean, Nick, someone of your experience, wealth of knowledge and nous of hockey, I mean, what does Mac Howlett provide this Lightning line?
The first thing he does is he brings energy, a lot of energy to the team, and I think that's probably the few games that I've seen this year, that's what they've been missing, when they usually look like the better team, but there's just never that impetus to really get at the opposition, and he does that. He brings speed, pace, a high level of skill. I think it's a really good signing.
Certainly is. Here is Cowney. Thought he was going to find Gulliver in the slot. Instead, it's all the way back to the blue line where Dominic Goodbye is lurking. Nice pass there from the aforementioned Howlett already. Has a goal on his home debut here for the men in black and yellow. We'll go back now to Dominic Goodbye. Goodbye, lovely pass. Change of direction. Had the Bison quite literally on their skates there. Gulliver, great passing move. This from the host, and that one punched away by Max Wright off the shot of Sean Norris. Good sustained period of pressure this, isn't it, Nick?
It is, yeah. Like I said, the Lightning look good, and on the power play you can see they got some skilled players out there, and there we go. Huge goal, very timely that.
And guess who? It's Jordan Cowney, the Flying Scotsman. Harrison has got a doozy of a stat as well. Mr. Mills, take it away.
That is 8 games straight with a goal for Jordan Cowney. 3 points on the night as well. He is closing in on 50 points, and as a matter of fact, not closing in on it, that is his 50th point of the season with 20 goals, 30 assists. Very nice looking numbers, and a great finish and a great play by Lightning in the end as well. Superb to get that 2-goal cushion back.
Really is a 1+2 and counting for Mr. Cowney. Assisted those previous goals from Howlett and Lewis, and now he himself is on the score sheet. I mean, Nick, he is gold dust, isn't he, for the Milton Keynes Lightning?
Is it Cowns?
Yes, it is.
If I was Tim right now, I'd be riding that line of Cowney, Norris, and Mac. I'd be putting them out there almost every second shift, because I think every time they're on the ice, you can see that they want the puck. They're hungry for goals, I would just ride them.
As you should. I mean, they have been absolutely scintillating here this evening. Some defensive work to be done here, though. It's a quick time shot is snapped away there by Adam Erskine. Good catch there from Jordan Headley, and I'd be amiss not to ask this question, Nick, but I
like that. He's put him out there again, and so that's good. Tim sees that this team, this line here is, they're feeling really good, and you just keep putting them out there. It's a good move by Tim.
Certainly is. Well, that was the question that was beckoning. It was, would it be a case of maintaining that line? And, well, Tim Wallace has answered the call before I've even got to ask it. So here is Spadafora. Spadafora just almost saucers that into the path of Jordan Headley. Really is a good-looking line, that, for the home side. That one slightly under the skates of Howlett. Forsberg now has to go off in pursuit as one of the Bison players takes a little bit of a tumble. Harding now back to Milton. Here is Baird on the points. Simple save in the end for Jordan Headley as Spadafora. There's a little bit of a word there with Luke Spadafora. But just looking at these jerseys, Nick, does it take you back to the 02-03 season?
It does. It's funny. I was telling a friend in the bar that when we started the Lightning, we spent the summer kind of getting the team ready, getting players in, and then with about a week and a half, 2 weeks before the season, we actually realized we didn't have a logo. So we got I think it was Dave Fairhouse who ran the Thunder, kind of drafted something up on, I don't know, whatever the program was, but that's the logo that you see. I think it took him about 30 minutes. Probably not the best logo, but I love the shirts and really fond memories.
I mean, it was a fantastic season, wasn't it? And it's funny, we were speaking actually with Jamo in the second period, but he played a massive role in that opening game against the Romford Raiders. What do you remember about that clash?
You know what? I remember being really nervous. The whole thing was new. It was new for everybody, and we had a pretty good crowd. And as a coach now, I look back and I cringe because defensively we were out to lunch. But it was a great hockey game to be in, and it was an exciting time. And it's great now to see that the Lightning are still in existence but thriving. The rink is full. It's a Sunday. Credit to Tom and everybody that's involved in the Lightning. They've put an incredible package together.
They really have, haven't they? And of course, the 11 Lightning Bolts representing those 3 league titles, 6 in the playoffs, 2 cups as well. It really has been a fantastic era for this club, and long may those good times continue. It's a good defensive play there from Zach Milton. Just gives it back to one of his alternates, Tom Relf, and Relf goes for a little bit of a skate here in neutral ice. I mean, it's crazy to think just how much the club and of course the wider game have evolved since that first season.
Yeah, it has. I mean, the club itself is fantastic. I look at the sponsorship, the crowd. We dreamed of it at the time, and just well done to all involved.
It really is.
I look at the hockey itself. The league probably hasn't changed a massive amount. I think probably you can look back maybe 6-7 years ago. I think the EPL probably got to a sustainability point where it wasn't feasible because some of the players that you're bringing in were, they were incredible. But now you've got a product where Brits are getting a chance. The imports are good. I think it's just about perfect.
It's a nice mix, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
This one comes all the way back to Max Wright. Still Lightning 3, Bison 1. Of course, still the penalty to kill here as well for the Lightning as a result of that previous penalty on Malik Martelli. They've done well so far, though, haven't they, Nick? They've been very regimented and disciplined.
They look good.
See out. Well, chance here for Spadafora. A lovely pass there to Shankar. Well, that could be the defining moment of the power play. Final 5 seconds, comes all the way back into neutral ice, and Malik Martelli is away and raring to go. Here he is.
He's a player that I think Malik, you want to see him just charging up the ice with that puck. I think a bit like Matt Howlett, where all of a sudden he brings energy. You see Malik skating that puck up the ice, you know your team is playing well. And I would be pushing Malik more and more to kind of charge up the ice with the puck, kind of join the offense, get the offense going per se. So I think he's a great player.
He certainly is. It's almost a juxtaposition in ice hockey, but he is an attacking defenseman, isn't he?
Yeah. You get D's that play D, and defense is important, but you get a defender with a puck on the stick, and that's where offense starts. And if they're charging up the ice, it pushes the forwards to drive forward. So I love seeing Malik play the game.
Certainly is someone to keep very, very close tabs on heading into the future. Dyson just looking to sustain a little bit of pressure here, put their foot on the accelerator, get themselves back into this match within the space of one goal. This game could change very quickly indeed. It's Erskine just holding it up there in the postage stamp, and Headley is very alert to that one. Freezes the puck immediately.
Jordan's looking really calm in the net. I think that's a good thing for the team. You look back there, and he's big in the net. He gives you a bit of confidence, and you can see there's no real. He's not flustered. So with a 2-goal lead, him in the back, I feel very confident.
And of course, from a team perspective, that's a massive bonus, isn't it? When you know you've got a solid, reliable, dependable netminder, it does give you that boost, doesn't it?
It's the backstop of the team. And Lightning are lucky. They've got 2 good goalies in both Jordan and Will. So you can put either one of them in. Head's probably the starter. He is the starter. But, yeah, really just a solid netminder.
It certainly is. Here goes Elliot Lewis looking for his second goal of the evening. Ralph puts a very swift end to that. That's some good defensive work there from the Bison number 89, and that's an even better pass just to open up that gap in neutral ice. However, Lightning, as has often been the case here tonight, they have been absolutely phenomenal with the forecheck. And again, Nick, that is almost one of those traits and characteristics. Any good hockey side, you've got to be aggressive, haven't you, on the forecheck?
I think that's part of as a coach, that's one thing that you can kind of implement, and you can put your here we go.
Yep, good pass there from Samford. Could be a chance here.
Great save, Headley. Yeah, you can really put your stamp on the forecheck, and I think you got a fast skating team in the Lightning, and you want to put the other team under pressure, and it's best to put them under pressure in their own end, because they cough the puck up there, immediately you're in a scoring position. So I like what they're doing.
Yeah, me too. So we'll be goodbye there with the face-off here. We'll get the numbers for Dominic Gabay and the face-offs in just a moment's time. I mean, Harrison, in terms of that metric, how's he looking in this game?
Well, after that face-off win, he's 14 out of 19 face-offs, nearly 75% win rate on that face-off dot. And another one that's been quite successful in the face-off dot is Jarvis Hunt. The first period, there were 2 face-offs and he lost both of them. Since then, he's only lost 1.
Wow.
And so that has changed from the second period to the third period, and he was brought in for the face-offs, and he is an example of how important the face-offs can be. Getting the puck into right areas, but if you don't win the puck in the face-off, you can't get it anywhere.
Very shrewd point indeed there, Harrison, as Jokinen just backhands that into the path of Dominic Gabay. Here he is, the Slovak. Good pass there to the flying Finn, but in the end, that is an easy save for someone of Max Wright's calibre. There you go, Nick. I mean, your favourite line is
No,
I
think you can see that they're happy. They like playing together. You can see that every time they go on the ice, they feel confident. They want the puck, and they're going to create scoring chances. So yeah, I would just keep putting them out there as much as I could.
Yeah, it's all about taking advantage now, isn't it? 3-goal game. Much more comfortable cushion than 2. It's always a dangerous lead, regardless of the situation. 1 goal can change things incredibly swiftly. Here is Erskine. Martelli just getting the stick in there. And that's the other aspect of his game. He's got a real active stick, hasn't he, Martelli, with those poke checks?
He's active. He's always, his feet are moving all the time. He's a good skater. He's energetic. Just a great player. And I like the pairing of him and Griff. I think Griff's such a steady player. So I think here we go. Nice 2-on-1.
Here we go, it's Howlett trying to find Cowney.
Yeah, they're creating chances every time they're on the ice, though, this line.
It's a pleasure to watch, isn't it? It really is. I bet that you're thinking as a forward, Nick, I mean, you wouldn't mind being on a line with those two.
Yeah, well, I'd love to play. I mean, I remember coaching Cowns, and when we brought him in, I thought probably one of the most skillful British players, but actually one of the most skillful players that I had the pleasure of coaching. I think he's just a great player. And when he's on and feeling good about his game, there's not many better.
No, there really aren't. He is Mr. Reliable, isn't he? Of course, he's got an even bigger role to play since Ross Venus's retirement, but he has certainly lived up to those expectations. The pressure has not affected him at all. Foot race on here between Field, Thomas and Evan North, and in the end, Bison almost emerge with the puck. That one slides into neutral ice. Back now with Tom Relf as there's a change here for the Lightning. Jokinen comes on for Elliot Lewis, and he's almost involved immediately. Will Headley jump on that? No, he won't. Allows his defenseman to bring it away. So Lightning can stretch this one forward into the neutral zone. Can they release Jokinen? No, they can't. Gulliver swarms into the mix. Reinforcements arriving for the men in black and yellow. Hunt backhands it there to the English forward. A shot on net could be a chance here for Jokinen. Jokinen just loses out. It was there. The goal was a gape. And Max Wright hasn't got his stick here. It's there with the official. I mean, this now, very, very dangerous areas for the Bison unless they can just clear the zone. And they've done a really good job there. Max Wright can retrieve his stick. I mean, you could hear the shouts of shoot there. Would have been an audacious effort. Here is Dominic Goodbye. Goodbye. Will he go alone? Well, that one takes deflection wide of the Basingstoke net. Still the Lightning looking to press home this advantage. Spadafore to Forsberg. Forsberg looks to go 5-hole. Kicked away by the Canadian netty.
He's been impressive today, the Basingstoke goal. I thought he's a...
Here you go, the Bison once more. Will this be an opportunity? There was one towards the back door. Cochrane thought he was impeded. Danger still not clear. Forsberg in the end has done just enough.
That was a great bit of a play by Spadafore there, just kind of tying up the attacker's stick there, because you had a gaping hole to score, but Spad very strong on his stick, managed to prevent a goal.
So we'll be brought back here for the icing. And I mean, the other pair of players I just wanted to talk about were the two young defensemen, Bailey Thomas and Cole Jean-Andrea. We'll talk about those in a second, Nick, because the Lightning are streaming forward once more. It's Jordan Spadafore, the Canadian imports. Looks to dump that one behind, but Howlett didn't arrive in time. Defensive work to be done here by Patrick Forsberg. Milton will go off in pursuit. In the end, Lightning stretching that to Sean Norris. Howlett makes a move. This could be dangerous for Basingstoke. Howlett tries to fight Norris. But in the end, there was too many white shirts in the mix-up. Howlett, though, on the forecheck. Will this be another chance?
Nice play. Yeah, they're having fun out there, this line. It's great to watch.
They're just overloading, aren't they? At the minute, I mean, this is irresistible from this trio. That's a great pass from Malik Martelli. Here we go again. Jordan Cowney. Nice vision there as well from Sean Norris. Just took a couple of looks there. Just checking the surroundings. Assessing the options. Goes back to Saunders flirting with the blue line there, and, well, he's gone a little bit too close.
Yeah, and you mentioned that forward line of Cowney, Norris and Howlett. 92 points in 70 games when you put it between them. And you've got to remember that Matt Howlett's only played 4. And he's already got himself another point tonight with a goal. He's on 8 points in 4 games, which, as a new signing, that must give you a lot of confidence, especially with the results not always going Lightning's way this season. It must give you a hell of a lot of confidence having someone like that come in halfway through the season.
Absolutely. I think as a coach, you look at that, you know you've got one ace in your hand, and it's just trying to now get another line together that can add to that pack. And I think I look down at the Lightning bench, and there's a lot of players on it. My one concern is that you're trying to give too many players too much ice time, and I think you got to kind of condense it a little bit. Look to get 3 super strong lines out and just ride those players a little bit more. That'd be my only kind of comment. I'd really just try to find another combination that can kind of work off of Cowney's line, and I think we're going to be absolutely flying.
Well, it's fascinating you mention that, because I think it is the first time in a long time where the Lightning have had 4 completely healthy lines. It's a full allotment this evening, and we have seen practically everybody in this matchday squad. So as we head into the final 7 minutes and 30 seconds here, Nick, is it a case of almost condensing that and bringing in your big game players to the fore?
I think 4 lines is great if you've got 4 lines that are consistent and giving you energy every time. But what I'm seeing is a first line that's providing energy and it's picking the standard up, and then after that it just starts to drop a little bit. So I think in a 3-1 game, it's really important that you maintain kind of momentum because one little mistake. All of a sudden it's 3-2, and then Basingstoke are hanging around, and they're going to think they can nick something. So
I think you are starting to see a little bit of that as well with Callum Field and Andrew Heath. Haven't seen as much ice time this period as well. Not really seen them get on. Ross Bottom had a good amount of ice time in the back end of the second period, but not seen as much in this one.
Which it's tough for the young kids, but look, the senior hockey and wins count, and it's really important that. Right now the guys see this through.
100%. I mean, Harrison, I know you've got the table over there. In terms of the two sides, there's not actually too much separating them. I know that the Basingstoke Bison have got a game in hands over the Lightning at the minute, but especially after the defeat yesterday against the Swindon Wildcats, looking at the table, Lightning could do with a win here.
Yeah, they certainly could, and you look at the table and Lightning are actually closer to being out of the playoff than they are from being in the top 4. And that just shows you the quality that the top 4 have, but also that Basingstoke are not far out of this, and they're only 2 points. There are 3 points between the bottom 4. That bottom 4 could change every week.
Like Tim's gone back out there with County's line, so you can see. I think Tim probably feels that he knows he's got a hot line, and he's getting them out there as much as possible, which I think is a good move by the coach.
See, this is why we love having your perspective, Nick. Stuff like that, giving us that insight, really is fascinating. And yeah, I imagine the numbers. I'm not asking this of Harrison, but in terms of the minutes on the ice, I mean, I imagine they'll be increasing for those major pillars in this Lightning side. That's a very stylish looking pass from Max Wright. Put a little bit of extra mustard and flair on that one. In the end, it's been cycled round to Mac Howlett. Turns on a penny piece. What a turn that is from the former Leeds Knight. Here he goes, looking for goal number 2 of the evening. Instead, offloads it there to Sean Norris. And Sean Norris has got another goal for the Milton Keynes Lightning. And it's also his 100th in the regular season for the men in black and yellow. And what a career he's had for the Milton Keynes Lightning. Continues to add to his tally in 25-26. And it is now Milton Keynes 4, Basingstoke Bison 1.
That's great. I mean, again, it's that county line, and I think now you could probably think, we can now maybe start to roll 4. You got that 3-goal cushion. I think we're, I don't want to jinx it, but I think we're fairly safe now. Get a few players more ice time. But what a line those 3 are. And I think, bodes really well for the remainder of the season, having a confident line that just love playing together.
Yeah, they look good, don't they? They really do. And here is Adam Rosbottom, the number 2. Nice pass there to Dominic Gabai. Gabai now will go for the turn. Back to Rosbottom. Rosbottom with the efforts. Not sure Wright knew too much about that, but he got the blocker on it. And he has stopped another goal from going in. I mean, Harrison, with regards to Sean Norris's overall season, yet again, he's been a major player, hasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly has, and it's really only in the back end of this season that he's started to get the points up. He's had a tough start to the season, got a couple points from his first game away in Telford, but you look at the numbers now, and after today's game, getting himself 2 assists and a goal, that's an extra 3 points. He's on 37 points from 35 games, and every season he just seems to be learning the trade a little bit more, playing a little bit more smart, and he's got that physicality about him that you saw him go in the penalty box. He'll take a penalty if he needs to.
Certainly will. Latest effort there from Spadafor emerges here for Rosbottom. Back to Jordan Spadafor, how he would love to add to his tally. That's a little shy at Wright's net. I'm guessing, Nick, you're enjoying what you're watching right now.
Great to watch. Really good. It's the first time I've watched Spads a lot tonight. I like the way he plays. I know he's not kind of a shiny offensive defenseman, but he's very solid. you can see he's dependable. Plays really strong and hard in front of head. So a good player to have out there right now. With just a few minutes left.
There goes Rio, Grinnell Park. Nice handles there. Tries to find Elliot Lewis in the low slot. There's another backhanded attempt. Almost comes out to Lewis. Instead, it's Spadafor who rushes onto that one. Will he pass it here to Forsberg or go back to Elliot Lewis? Goes back to the latter. Jarvis Hunt hares after that. Does well, does the former Peterborough man. And that one just deflects off the outstretched blade. Here goes Adam Erskine. Wilstead also makes the move. He's taken down Spadafor though.
Yeah, I think the penalty has been called, but Wilstead is not happy.
Well, it's Grinnell Park who's still having a few words over the top of the officials. It will be Wilstead who goes into the penalty box. And I mean, with regards to the Lightning now at this stage, Nick, it's all about just keeping your head. You don't want to give away.
Absolutely. 4 minutes left. You got 2 of those are going to be on the power play. So you're thinking, well, that's 2 minutes that we should be able to see out. And then you got another 2 minutes, and he's put his top PP line out there. With a bit of luck, we can get a 5th. And then all of a sudden you might see some of the younger guys getting a little bit more ice time for that remaining 3 minutes. So a nice place to be as a coach right now. You're feeling pretty comfortable with the situation you're in.
Most definitely. I mean, it's definitely more comfortable than that first ever game in the 02-03 season, isn't it? I mean,
that was a crazy night. It was just back and forth. I mean, there was no defense, 8-8 or what. I don't even know what the score was, but it was a lot of fun.
Imagine it would have been as well for the fans. I mean, what a start that is. Brand new team, formed in 2002, and the first game finishes 7-7 with the tying goal being scored by a certain number 91, Nick Poole.
Well, those are good days. I certainly couldn't do that now. Back and hips and everything hurts. So, but no, a lot of fun.
It's certainly been fun since then, hasn't it? I mean, what a organisation the Lightning have grown into. Can they get goal number 5? They have got 1 minute and 50 seconds with the man advantage. Of course, also helps just chew away a few more seconds. Here is Gulliver back to Sean Norris. Can he double up his tally? Goes for the 5-hole. Audacious effort. Right, though, more than up to the task. Headley short pass there to Dominic Gaboy. Still the Lightning streaming bodies forward. Here is County. County goes alone. Second chance opportunity. Good save there. Double save from Max Wright. Gaboy emerges with it on the blue line. Goes back now to Howlett. And Howlett double up his personal tally. It opts to be unselfish. Goes to Dominic Gaboy, and well, this is the issue. You can overcommit on the power play. Here is Harding. And Jordan Headley does well to read the angle.
A little loose there on the power play. You can see they want the puck, but maybe all of a sudden switched off for just a moment there, and Basingstoke got a pretty good scoring opportunity. So just got to make sure we're eyes on the prize. That's a win at the end of the day. Let's not give them anything cheap and easy.
Most definitely Sellen with the latest sighter at Headley's goal. Hunt brings that back into his own zone. Final 3 minutes of regulation. This now will come down to discipline and game management for the home side. Would be a very, very nice win. Here is Janne Jokinen. Can he get his first point in the last 5 games? Well, he goes back to the point. Here is Martelli. Martelli almost loses out. Less than 30 seconds remain with the 5-on-4 advantage. Lewis back to Martelli. Zips it across to Forsberg to Lewis. And you could see what they were trying to do.
Absolutely. I've been really impressed with Lewis. I think he's been a good signing this year, hasn't he?
Certainly has.
Plays hard, goes to the net. Got a nice goal tonight. Again, going to the net. You got to do those hard yards.
He got rewarded, didn't he, earlier on this campaign with a little stint with the Guildford Flames. The Elite League, certainly a hot prospect for the Milton Keynes Lightning. Final 2 minutes then, still 4-1 in favour of the home siders. Basingstoke looked to force that near post. I think it was Evan North with the initial effort there at Jordan Headley. Will there be one final twist in the tail? It's going to take something extraordinary. Basingstoke refused to go down without a fight. Seconds continue to tick away though, almost in the final 90. I mean, what a crowd this has been as well tonight.
For a Sunday game, fantastic. I mean, I know that generally the Lightning crowd has been fantastic all year, but Sundays have traditionally been much quieter than this. So well done again to all involved.
Really was a great job from our marketing team, and everybody wanted to be here for Retro Night. I mean, the jerseys look clean. Rio Grinnell Park there with a little bit of a shove. Still, pleasantries continue to be exchanged on the far side of the rink. Grinnell Park just has to be separated there. I think it's Tom Relf, the man there for Basingstoke. Indeed it is, so it'll be coincidentals. 1 minute and 5 seconds remain in regulation. And Nick, in terms of what you've seen in this period from the Lightning, where do you think the real key areas of strength have lay here for Tim Wallace's side?
Well, like I said, I think the on the whole, defensively, you got pretty much 3 really good units out there, and I don't know what's going on with Lewis Christie, if he's going to be playing again or not, but you've got a great player that can slide in when needed. You've got a line that's on fire at the moment in counties. I think it's just, you've got the makings of another kind of 2-3 good lines. It's just kind of figuring out those combinations to make sure that you can add to that top line. And I think once we get 3 lines going out there consistently, night in, night out, I don't think there's going to be teams much better than the Lightning. So I think we can give anybody a good run in the playoffs, providing we get there, which I think we should.
Well, that's the key. You've got to punch your ticket first, haven't you? Final 50 seconds. Forsberg, that one takes a bit of a deflection, almost falls there to the advancing Adam Harding. Could be a chance here on the counter. It's Cowney. He's got options. 2 of them, in fact, one of which was Sean Norris. Instead went over to Matt Howlett. Final 30 seconds on the clock. And this will be an important victory for the Milton Keynes Lightning. Can the Bison have one final shot at Headley's net? Just reduce the deficit. Walk away with something else other than Alex Sanford's goal. Still, the seconds tick away. Final 10. I mean, that's just a shot out of desperation. 5 seconds remaining. It's the loud and vociferous Milton Keynes support rises to their feet. And it is a return to winning ways on Retro Night here at the Thunderdome. The game finishes Milton Keynes Lightning 4, Basingstoke Bison 1. And that is precisely what these home fans were looking for. It was a disappointing result away yesterday at the Link Centre against the table-topping Wildcats. But they are 2 handy points in the bag for Tim Wallace's side. They win this one by a 3-goal cushion. And Nick, well, that is precisely what everybody in this building was looking for, a performance of that calibre.
No, it's been a great night. I think the Lightning were worthy winners, 4-1. Maybe even flatters Basingstoke a little bit because we were the better team. And I think credit to Tim and the lads, a great night tonight.
Certainly was, and we will keep you for the post-match presentations as we just see the handshakes taking place here. I mean, Nick, it has been Retro Night. We've seen the support of the crowd, people coming out in the old jersey, supporting the team. I mean, how proud are you of where the club is?
Incredibly proud, but it's great to be a part of it. I'm really, it's a privilege to be a part of, and I'm very grateful for Tom and the present day group. I love what they've done. I think they've taken the club on 2-3 levels from where we had it, and that's all you want. You're kind of a steward, I suppose, of the club for a little while, and then it's their job, and they're making it better. So it's great, but it's been a lot of fun tonight.
It really has, and well, just on theme with the 02-03 season, if you can just cast your mind back and think of either a player or a coaching perspective, what would your highlight be? Because of course that first game against Romford was crazy, but the end of the season, beating the Phantom 16-4 on aggregate. Not bad either.
Yeah, that was something else. That was special. I look back now, and it's a relationship that I had. The relationship I had with Vito and Harry, the sort of the owners and managers of the club, and the players. Their friendships that have lasted to this day. And I know you had Jamo and Ross Green in the booth tonight, and two guys that I got so much time and respect for. So it's a little combination of everything, but it's nice to feel a part of it all. I just love where the club's at.
As you should. I mean, really is a special place. It's the Thunderdome, and of course, every single time that we walk in the building, Nick, we see that number 91 to our left. Well, we'll let you go because obviously you're a busy man. You're in demand, but Nick, it's been an absolute pleasure. You're always welcome back here.
It's been a lot of fun, and I tell you what, you guys do a fantastic job. I think you guys are, the production that you guys have got, well done. Really, really impressive. So good stuff.
Well, that's really, really kind, Nick. And of course, we're only as good as our behind-the-scenes team. Nick, we'll let you go. It's been an absolute privilege. Look after yourself. We'll see you shortly. Yeah, it's been a very, very enjoyable night. A massive thank you to Nick Poole, Leigh Jamieson and Ross Green on commentary alongside myself and Harrison Mills. We are just getting ready for the post-match presentations, starting with the Bison man of the match. I mean, Harrison, I'll throw it to you. In terms of the Basingstoke player of the match, who would you go for?
Brendan Selam seemed to be everywhere on the ice. I do think that Alex Samford had quite a good game as well. There's a shout for Max Wright, because Max Wright is just Max Wright. I don't think any more needs to be said about Max Wright. He is easily up there with one of the best netminders in the league, and in my opinion, only behind Sam Gospel. I would say he's easily the best import netminder in the league, just from watching him for Bees last season as well. But he's been unreal this season. Other than that, I don't think anyone massively stood out. I think Tom Relf had quite a good game. He won't get the plaudits because of not getting a point, and those are the players that I think you don't really see enough of. You don't get enough plaudits for players like Tom Relf, who might not be the prettiest, but they will do a job at the back, and he's such a solid and just such a very calm and collected head in the back for that Basingstoke Bison roster.
Well, it is the number 29 of Alex Samford. I think that is completely fair. He's had a good performance there as the Bison man. Of course, netted that goal for Jeff Flanagan's side, assisted by Harding and Sellen on that occasion. And look, he was active, wasn't he, Harrison? He was nipping at the heels all night. He was active on the forecheck, and of course the goal was just the cherry on top.
Yeah, it certainly was, and he's been at this Bison side before. 223 appearances for the Bison in total. That's his 76th goal for them as a club. He's hitting at just over a point, just over 0.6 points per game in his time. So he is a very quality player, and he's one that he's still quite young as well. So I think there is still more to come from a player like Alex Samford.
Well, there really is. Always nice scenes here as well at the end. The MK fans and the travelling Basingstoke faithful just applauding the Bison. I mean, they have worked hard tonight. It was just a case of the Lightning being a little bit too irresistible in the end. Of course, we'll have the rest of the presentations now.
Yeah, and the thing with the Bison as well is that it unfortunately doesn't get any easier, because next weekend they are at home to the Swindon Wildcats, and that is on Friday night. So big game there on the Friday. If you're a Bison fan, definitely get tickets for that one, because there's a derby that has resurfaced after been missing for a couple seasons. But that Basingstoke-Swindon rivalry is back up and running, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, aren't we all? I mean, it's just nice to see the Basingstoke Bison back, isn't it? I think that's the sentiment around the league. Of course, it's their first campaign since 2022-23. Really is fantastic to see them back, and, well, long may their presence in this league continue. We see the race around the rink here between some of the youngsters. And Harrison, well, we have got the opportunity, speaking of fixtures, I mean, what were the final results from the rest of the league?
So Sheffield Steel Dogs won 8-3 in the end up in Dumfries, so I got a few goals there in the third. The Hull Seahawks lead the Bristol Pitbulls 7-4. That one has also finished up in Yorkshire. The Peterborough Phantoms are leading the Leeds Knights 4-3 after Precosdi got a 5+ game for a check to the head, so that'll be an interesting one for Dops. And Telford Tigers currently lead the Swindon Wildcats 3-2 in the third period.
Well, our co-commentator Nick Poole is on the red carpet receiving the VIP treatment, as he should. An absolute icon of Milton Keynes hockey, was the player coach in the 02-03 season. Both he and Gary Clark, well, they dominated the league in that campaign. 127 points for Nick Poole, 140 plus for Gary Clark. And there is your Lightning man of the match. Zero surprises here. It is the Flying Scotsman. I mean, Harrison, he was nothing short of magnificent tonight.
Yeah, he certainly was, and that was a total of 35 shots on him, 34 saves. That is astounding numbers for the Lightning number one, who has had a tough few weeks in terms of the opposition and defensively being quite dry at the back. He has been needed a lot more than in previous seasons, but this is what he's here for. This is what he brings to the Lightning.
He certainly does. I called it as Jordan County. It was Jordan Headley, of course, the netminder. We've been near perfect for Retro Night. Always time for a blooper. But there we go. Lee's the thunderclap. And yeah, Jordan Headley has been immense. He'll be absolutely over the moon. He had a tough start in this one. Was in the wars. Wore a couple on the ribs and towards the helmet, but he's bounced back very strongly indeed.
He certainly has, and he's one of those netminders. You said that pretty much every side in the league would be incredibly grateful to have him in net, and as you said, second most appearances for the Lightning behind only Barry Holyhead, and that is some company to be a part of.
Certainly is. Well, the Lightning, led by Jordan Spadafor, will go for their lap around the ring. It has been a retro night to remember here at the Thunderdome. The Lightning in those classic black and yellow kits. I mean, will we see them again? Let's wait and see.
I hope so.
I hope so as well.
A retro night where we go through the years, I will be there for it.
Well, on that note, Harrison, I think that is a nice place to wrap up our broadcast. From myself, Aaron Viles and Harrison Mills here on commentary, big thank you to Ross Green, Leigh Jamieson and Nick Poole for their time. And of course, as always, a massive thank you to Kim, Charlie, Aaron, Leo and Archie for all of their hard work behind the scenes. So we will say goodbye here on Super Sunday. It finishes Lightning 4, Bison 1, and we wish you all a very enjoyable end to your week.
that, the 2025 season comes to an end. Good night.